Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the latest episode of Send It Mate podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh,
And I'm Caleb.
and grab your socks and hold on to something tight because we're letting nukes fly tonight. Wow. That in the last 10
Yeah,
seconds.
I mean, it's very well put together, but makes no fucking sense. Hold on to something tight.
Yeah, because, oh my God, man. Like, you're going to be holding on to something pretty tight if a nuke comes over your head.
How tight are your socks?
I said pull up.
Oh,
your socks.
as in like grab it tightly, not grab the thing that is tight.
I think you said grab your socks. No, I think you said grab your socks.
Yeah, I said grab your socks and hold on to something tight.
So if you're grabbing your socks, therefore you're holding your socks tight.
Well, if that's what you want to hold on to.
Unless
Or
you've
you're just
got-
grabbing your socks from the drawer.
and grabbing a super tight
my
vagina
God.
and just squishing.
Or you're wearing your socks while you grab them. I need clarification, Josh. If there's nukes around, I
Yeah,
need to
shit.
understand.
Yeah. Have I done my laundry? Oh, shit. Fuck. My laundry's still hanging up.
Wow.
Oh, it'd be dry by the end of it, wouldn't it?
That's right, mate. If you have to go bush, you just need one pair of jocks, remember?
You do, not 10. Remember that, Caleb. That space can be taken up and utilised for better things.
Mate, just don't even take jocks.
You laugh at condoms, but they hold water very well.
We learnt this recently
Yeah, we did.
in an episode of this podcast right here.
We did.
We did. It was very informative.
It is. And you can put it over the barrel of your rifle to stop things getting into the barrel.
And you can put it over the spout of something else as well, and it works just as
We
well.
learnt that
Your
Josh likes the
bell
taste of lube.
Yeah, belly.
Only
No,
banana flavoured lube.
You got to turn it inside out, mate. But I guess if you wanted a,
It's
like,
literally
I don't know,
turn it
a
inside out for
flavoured
your
water,
pleasure.
you could do it that way. Bit of flavouring.
Delicious. Anyway, we're back
Oh my
as a
God.
trio again.
Yeah, Ryan, this brings up a good point. How was ISO?
Oh, it was fucking shit. Terrible.
Really?
Terrible. Fucking terrible. Like, before I got the test back, while I was waiting for the positive, which I knew was going to be positive because the rest of my family had it, I was like, no, that's cool. It's 10 days. I can do stuff around the house. I got a list out but like by day 2, because I was in the house by myself, it was no fucking way, man. I'm not doing that again. Unless, there's a policeman at my door telling me I have to. But, it was
I
terrible.
believe it's police officer.
A police person?
Police officer. Because it can be male or female or transgender or whatever it likes
Could
to
be a police dog, mate.
Could be.
What's a postman then? Like a post person?
That's a good point, actually. Postie.
Postie? Well, that's an Aussie thing.
Yeah, postie. That just takes all the
person.
I feel like that.
takes it all
What
out.
about
of it.
manhole? Is it a person hole? Well, it's a person hole now. It's called PA, person access door.
Well, I believe it's called a manhole because it can fit typically the size of a man in it.
Men typically go in it. I mean,
Well, no, like the size of it. I mean,
Why vaginas not called manholes then?
that's
true.
They should be called manholes. That is probably more of a fitting title.
Maybe a man trap.
Show us your manhole. A man trap. Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, well, I don't know. Isolation's one of those things where it tests you. Like, it tests what you, like the sort of person that you are by yourself, but also because halfway through, I ended up going over to the misso's house where the rest of the family was, and she lives in a smaller house, and it was just terrible. Like, the one thing that I definitely learned out of the whole isolation thing is I'm not built to be inside. Not at all. So for those people that have backyards and that sort of thing, definitely probably would have made it a bit easier. This particular house didn't have one. So no, it's fucking shit, man. I don't like it. Don't want to talk about it. Fuck off. Next subject, please.
Do you feel violated?
Oh, do you know what? I think, like, because it was probably worse because I was asymptomatic. Like, I didn't feel sick at all. Like, I had the sniffles and I was a little bit lethargic, but nothing like significant. So to be stuck in your house when you feel like there's nothing actually wrong with you and it's just some bullshit mandate thing that you got to do because the big boys are saying, oh, fucking isolate and blah. Like, there's so many contradictory rules. And then, like, probably the mistake that I made was I went down the rabbit holes of doing research on what I can and can't do, and then I found out all the contradictions in the way that they were doing things and changing and flip-flopping around from what you can do 1 week to a month later. You can't do that, but it's okay to do something else. And like, and there's no one single place that is like the authority on the whole thing because all the different states have their own different ways of doing things. Then you got the federal level, and then it's interpretation. So it's a massive clusterfuck. And even trying to get a hold of someone, a hold of a person, because when I changed the house that I was staying at, I had to notify, well, I didn't have to. I felt like I should notify the authorities. And then when I was trying to find the number to call, it's like an all automated service. So I ended up having to speak to a hotline for emergency housing for COVID to notify them of my changes of address so that if the coppers came knocking, it was in my file that I'd actually transferred for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it took me like 45 minutes to find that. So it's fucking stupid. It's all a bunch of fucking shit. And I'm very pissed off about it because of my experience. So some people might have had a different experience.
Did you have anyone check up?
No, nothing. Nothing. All I got was I got a stupid amount of text messages because we'd seen some people that got tested positive as well during my isolation. So every couple of days I get the same text sent to me from a different source saying you need to isolate for 14 days. You need to but even though I'm already isolating because I've got COVID. So I don't know. It just it seems like there's a lot of telling you what you have to do and what your obligations are, but no follow up if there's something that operates outside the box and no one to speak to, no one to give you any clarity on any questions that you've got. It's just you have to stay home and that's it.
Yeah. I would assume there's no way police are going around enforcing it. The amount of people that would be isolating in their house at the moment, there's no way that they're checking on everyone. Like back when it was 7 cases in all of South Australia, probably they were. But
yeah, I mean that was a thought that I had, and I'd considered not making the call and just fucking off. And then I was like, you know what, it's $5,000 per person.
Well, funny thing about that, when I came back from Victoria at the start of it and we were recording one night, a police officer came to your house. He first went to my house
and rang you.
And he rang me and I wasn't there. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm actually just down the road recording a podcast. And he come around and knocked on the door. He actually asked me, he said, oh, should you be in isolation? And I'm like, no, I haven't been in contact with anyone. And I went across the border legally and come back fine. So I just didn't understand. But we did get checked.
yeah, but that was back when there was fuck all cases in our state.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very, very minimal
So,
cases.
I mean, there's no way they're doing it now. Just the sheer amount of people.
I almost have this sense of belief where if you don't know about it, then just go about your day.
Sounds like the Josh ignorance is bliss approach.
Yes, a little bit.
Well, it's funny you say that because there's like the SA health recommendation for schools is if your kid doesn't have symptoms to send them to school, but kids are typically supposed to be asymptomatic. Mm-hmm. Whereas if your kid's got symptoms, to keep them home, get them tested. But if your kid doesn't have symptoms but is in a class where someone has got symptoms and has been tested positive, they're still not required to do a test. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nothing does. It's 2022, man.
It's 2022.
Nothing
The world's
makes sense.
gone crazy and everything's upside down.
I mean, like, Russia's invading Ukraine, COVID, China, fucking
that's the second.
Centre Mate podcast. It doesn't make sense.
It's crazy.
Blowing up, man. We're blowing up. Don't worry about nukes. We're blowing up.
Speaking of, you can find us on Instagram. You can find, I think we've got Facebook as well.
You do?
We're on Facebook. And
Nice plug.
we're linked. Yeah, that was well done. Thank you.
Seamless.
And hit us up. Have a chat to us. You'll actually, normally we try to get back to people that talk to us on Instagram. We all have access to the account, so you never actually know who you're talking to. And
Quite often you'll get all three of us.
Yeah,
and then we'll
possibly.
start arguing in amongst ourselves on your chat.
But the challenge I put out to all those people out there that are listening in your cars while you were driving, just make a mental note, start chatting to us, and the challenge is to figure out who it is that you're speaking to based on the reply that you get, the wording of it.
I feel like the real listeners will know. They'll just know.
Yeah.
They'll know. There's
They'll
signs.
You can vet this quite easily. Ask about semis or
Josh, how often do you get a semi and how often do you get hard?
semi-automatics. Jesus. And ask, do you like music? Do you like writing music? Because, one person will say no to that. One person will say yes.
It depends on how much they listen to the show because we divulge a bit about ourselves.
No. Just
Yes.
they got to ask the normal
quite
question
simple.
and then just guess who's
No,
answering.
you can vet it. You can vet it quite easily.
Nah, we need a pump up song. So while we're recording this, I actually made a post. You probably would have seen. This is like a week delay, so 7 days ago. It's actually we would be still on our Instagram asking for a pump up song. So if you want to talk to us, think of a fully sick fucking pump up song that gets your blood going. Because every time we record, we start off with a pump up song. We have a drink. We hang shit on each other to get into the vibe.
Well, some of us do. The musically inclined do. Someone else goes off to.
me and Caleb have.
No,
got some
I have an
pretty sweet
issue
tastes.
when you're playing a song that you would play right before you're getting into bed to help you sleep. That is not a pump up song. You need to
Hey,
rewrite
there is
the
nothing
definition.
wrong with Enya.
Shit.
I can listen to metal before I go to sleep. I can listen to metal with headphones on and go to sleep.
Yeah, that shows
While
like
it's
the
playing.
testosterone in your body, like the levels. Like you
Does it?
Yeah, it does. You
Oh, Dr. Josh, tell me more.
It does.
How much of a man am I?
Yeah, not very.
And how do I counteract my HGH and various other forms of stuff?
Get a time traveling machine and go back to when you were a kid, and then milk it from your glands.
Can I
I didn't learn to milk my
anyone?
gland till I was 12.
Ooh, late
and
bloomer.
I felt the need to do it regularly.
Can we just go? Can you backtrack for a second there? Did you say? Are you saying that you can fall asleep with heavy metal playing in your ears?
Yep.
At the time.
Yep.
Wow, I'm impressed by that because I sure as shit can't. I get out of bed like fucking fist pumping and want to smash stuff and fuck yeah.
And this is where the translation of a pump up song is lost on Caleb.
I don't know, man.
I don't tend to if I put music on just to listen to something to do before I go to sleep and I fall asleep with music in, it's generally the music that's all on my phone. So it's familiar music, even if it's metal.
All right, this is the question that everyone's probably thinking that's listening to this. Britney Spears Toxic. Pump up song or not?
Yeah, pump up song.
There's a
No. The you're talking about Punk Goes Pop.
Oh no, that's definitely a pump up song.
Yeah,
No,
that's
the
a
original.
pump-up.
the metal version of it.
Yeah, the metal version. Yeah,
Not the original.
Not the original, no.
nah.
Doesn't pump me up.
Nah, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe. Now that's a pump up song. Fuck yeah.
But that's
But do you know what?
nostalgic
It
for you.
totally is not, but you just have an association.
I threw a
Yeah.
wish in the
With it.
well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. Yeah,
What is
fucking
for
oath,
those
mate.
playing at home? Please explain the story behind that pump up song for you.
Oh, okay, so in Afghan, some of the boys used to put it on before we go on patrol to jam up, and then actually, it's sort of. I think it was sort of the boys sort of ripped it off of a Marine platoon that was over there, and they did a parody to the song, like a dance parody. Because in the actual Carly Rae's video, it's like chicks, just sitting there like half naked and all the rest of it. And instead of chicks, it's all like these Marines that are doing it with no shirts on, and like they're dancing to it in the middle of Afghan. So I think there's like a bit of a
I
like.
was just gonna say, is this Afghan or Netherlands?
I definitely don't.
No, it's Afghan.
I definitely don't remember chicks with no shirts on, or chicks with like
in
belly.
in I don't know, bikinis or whatever. I don't know.
Scantily clad women.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to look at the video up because I do not remember it. Like that.
You're like, I have to do
I
research.
thought it
on
was
this.
kind of like fairly wholesome, really.
I don't know, but it was the parody's done well. You can find it on YouTube if you want.
I've seen it.
It's pretty
Definitely
good.
seen it. It made
Pretty
news.
funny. Yeah. And look, and like ever since that, like the boys would play it and we'd sort of just G ourselves up to that song.
Like ironically,
I think
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
to
I
do
guess it
ironically,
was a bit-
unless you like
bit.
fucking love that song.
Oh, it was pretty good. You'd get pretty fired up when someone put it on. Like, if someone hadn't put it on for like a couple of weeks and then, someone would put it on, you'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but is that the association with the adrenaline rush of being on
I think we just
parole-
got some
patrol?
Pavlov's dog going on here. I think you just hear a sound and go, all right, that sound means time to get jacked and go out.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
that's all right. It was a pump up song. I don't know. I don't mind covers of sort of like pop songs.
Yeah.
I don't mind it all.
And you can sing along to them and they're heavier as well. Like you just rock out, but you know the words.
But that's the
And they're catchy
backstory of that
as
song.
fuck.
I mean, and ever since then, I love the song still. I don't know why.
I fucking hate that song.
Yeah, it's shite. But you do you, mate.
Oh, I will.
Oh, no, you will.
Yeah, I will. You do no testosterone.
Was that no N-O or K-N-O-W? Context, please.
You do know. Yes, I do know it very well. Yes, that actually made sense.
I don't know. I feel like there need to be a question mark, like a raised end of the sentence there so he can specify in which
I
context.
feel like we need to move on.
Well, let's do that, Josh. I'll take your recommendation, seeing as how you are all over it tonight, and we'll do the topic intro. Tonight's topic is flogging a dead horse.
I'm going to take it off. That's...
You sound so. You look so enthused.
Was that sarcasm? It was like, this night's
there
intro,
was.
This topic is
That's
flogging
the
a
pitch
dead
of Caleb's voice. There is none.
This is fucking shit.
I said flogging a dead horse, like you would if someone's just saying the same thing on repeat and nothing's going to change,
Flog a dead horse.
which is what I'm used to hearing from you.
Don't make me laugh. I'm having spaz attacks.
The
like
topic is flogging a dead
on the
horse,
cuff.
which means, you're basically saying and hoping something's going to change, but never going to change. So
Doing something that is pointless.
pointless, yes. So if you're trying to win a horse race,
Don't race with a
the
dead
horse
horse.
is dead, and you're cracking the whip, but it's dead, you're not going to get anywhere, are you?
Be so smart.
No shit. No shit, Sherlock.
If you're
Fucking hell.
you're going to race in a horse race, don't take a donkey.
Yeah, I mean, it's pointless, isn't it? That's literally where it fucking originated from, the saying. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's actually pretty funny. Like if you look it up on Wikipedia, there's like just a dude sitting on a dead horse.
Yeah, it's like a black and white photo.
Yeah. I don't know how that's like contextual at all because it's just an old guy sitting on a horse that's dead. It's kind of funny. This is like, what photo would you put though for flogging a dead horse? Unless it's someone literally flogging a dead horse, in which case I don't think,
Masturbating a horse? I don't know.
well, that took a left turn
I
real
don't know,
quick.
man.
What is your
I mean,
search
are you
history
looking up
say?
the Urban Dictionary definition or?
Is
I
that
don't know what picture you're going to put up, mate. Like it really means like you're trying something that's futile. Like
yeah?
you're not
yeah,
you're not going to succeed no matter which way you approach it. Which I think that's. I think you can always achieve what you want to achieve if you put your mind to it. So
yeah, but if you're doing something that's not going to get to that goal, then you're still flogging a dead horse. It's like saying, I want to be famous, but I'm going to do it by only putting one picture up a month on Instagram. And then you go, you're flogging a dead horse doing that.
Oh no, it just means that you might learn how to re-go around it. Like figure out a better way to go around it.
Well, how about I give you a bloody couple of examples as part of my topic breakdown
Oh, please do.
of flogging a dead
Please
horse.
do. I'm
Please
hanging
do.
out.
Right. Well, yesterday I went fishing.
This sounds
As in-
actually automatically. This sounds like all your fishing trips,
Fishing
like
for fishes?
just fishing and not actually getting anywhere.
Calm the
with
fuck
fishing.
down and let me tell my story.
I'm judging.
Now, I'm going to give a
soon.
specific example and I'm going to give a general discussion. So, yesterday, I went fishing. I went to two places. I went to West Lakes and I went to the port, which are two spots that I've had some success. I was hoping to catch some brim.
Can you define success for our listeners?
I'll get to that.
All right.
One undersized fish.
I'll get to that, right? So, my experience yesterday, and was a prime example of flogging a dead horse, was literally every time I cast in, there was a shit ton of little shitties everywhere. And every time I cast in, they'd just smash the bait, take it off my hooks, and I'd reel in empty hooks. And this happened time after time after time. I'd literally cast in, they'd smash it, reel in, put new bait on, throw it out again. And I thought to myself, I'm flogging a dead horse here. So I've tried all sorts of different things. I tried casting out further. I tried casting in shallow. I tried moving out further. I tried smaller hooks because I'm like, well, I'll try and catch one of these bastards since they're so small. Smaller hooks. Then I even got to the point of just going, fuck this, we'll go somewhere else. So I shifted from West Lakes to the port. Tried the same thing in the port, same situation. Little shitties, flogging the bait. I'm like, stuff this. So I ended up putting a treble hook on.
What's a treble?
So it's like you see on a squid jag,
Oh, it's like curved.
There's
at
three
the bottom
hooks.
And there's three of them hanging.
Three
out.
hooks, yeah.
There's nothing like you see on a squid jag, but yeah,
I get the
it's
concept.
three hooks.
exactly what you see on a squid.
Three. No, it's
Oh,
not.
sorry, not a squid jag, fucking a lure.
A lure, yeah.
Yeah. My apologies, Josh.
No, that's
It was
all right.
well picked up from you.
Yeah, good
It's
pick up.
nothing like you see on a
Fucking
squid
hell,
jag.
Kate.
When you
I
are
expect
wrong,
more.
I will be all on
I
that
know,
shit
you're
like
on
a
it.
fat kid on a cupcake, mate. Fucking A.
You are a rash. So I'm like, well, just for the sake of it, because I'm flogging a dead horse here, I'm not going to catch anything. I chuck this treble hook on, just like if there's going to be a heap of them swarming around this bait, maybe I can just foul hook some of them. That didn't work either. So at that point, I'm like, stuff this, packed it up, went home. Now, that's a specific example of flogging a dead horse. Tried a heap of different things, same result, just no fish.
I feel like you weren't trying hard enough.
Trying hard enough, I tried different bait, I tried different locations, I tried different hooks.
Did you try and net?
No, I didn't have a net, nor could I reach them with a net.
Did you try?
Nor-
Well, not with that attitude. You got to
try
get in the
trawling?
water.
I also didn't have a drone to drop bait out.
Didn't have a boat. Didn't have-
So there's my specific example of flogging a dead horse. In a general, broader terms, flogging a dead horse is how you could describe land-based fishing in South Australia, in Metro specifically. All right, maybe
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
Maybe not regional, but certainly Metro Adelaide. I remember times as a kid, you'd go out, you could have a good night, you'd catch a bunch of whiting or gar, whatever. And it's not just because we were kids and we thought that was amazing. You could actually have a decent night out fishing off a suburban jetty or the port or West Lakes or wherever. Whereas now we go out and we're like, shit, if I can catch a brim or a whiting or a salmon trout, shit, I've done all right. And I'm like, how have we reduced ourselves to thinking that that's a successful fishing trip?
See, I feel like this is where you just need to buy a boat. And I don't think land-based fishing in Metro Adelaide is actually worth it. I mean, you hear stories of, people caught muller whale on shores and things like that. And I've been with you. Actually, you have a very good track record of hooking onto something big. Could be a ray. We don't know because you use shitty gear. Typically, it breaks. So
And there's nothing wrong with Kmart special.
So it doesn't work well for you because you're using shitty gear, but you will still hook onto something, relatively good, and that's probably one out of 10 trips maybe.
Yeah, so we rag a fair bit on the fishing in South Australia.
This is Metro waters. We're talking about.
So I
Onshore.
put it to you, where would you go if you're fishing in South Australia where it isn't shit fishing.
You literally can get better results if you have a boat and you are 50 metres off the shore.
Exactly. So if you're in Metro, get a boat, get a kayak, do something. Just don't stand on the fucking bank or barge.
Does our shoreline, like the geography of our shoreline, play in?
No, I think it's more to the fact that it's just pilfered by people. Pilfered by people. I'm trying to be
attention
PC
to bag
here.
limits or size limits.
Yeah, people not following the rules, certainly on Metro beach jetties.
I have more success actually fishing from the beach, like in metro waters, than I do off of any jetty in South Australia.
Oh, mate, and any jetty that you go to in South Australia, there's a billion people. Like Metro, there's a billion people there anyway. So, that probably is testament to why it's been fished out.
Yeah, it's annoying because it's so convenient to just be able to go, I feel like a fish, chuck the rod, chuck the gear in the car, head down to a jetty, stand on the jetty and fish.
There's a big fishing culture here in SA too, so
Yes.
there's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah, it's way more convenient than having to take the boat out, sort out fuel, clean your boat, store your boat, all that sort of stuff.
So this is where I disagree. Like, okay, so my dad has a rather large boat that's seen water probably once since he's
Glad you said boat.
bought it.
Remember that sentence.
It's what, 22-foot half cabin. It's got an old Johnson 50 on it.
So your dad's got a big
But
Johnson.
it's too big to actually, like, at the end of like your work day, just hook up and drive it out and get it in the water and go for a fish. It's too big. It's too cumbersome. There's too much to do. Whereas, actually, your boss Ryan and my old boss, he opened my eyes to this many, many years ago, and that was a tinny. He just had a tinny, had a cast deck. It was small. I think it might have been a 4.2 metre. Had a 20 on it. It was very well decked out. Like he'd obviously done a fair bit of work in figuring out where storage and things went on it. But he could literally just go home, hook it up, get out into the port, launch, and be catching fish within 45 minutes, and then get home. He'd wash it down before he got home, and just backed it in his driveway, close the roller door. You're good.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like tinny's probably the best option for like recreational fishers that aren't like right into it. Like someone like us, a tinny would be ideal. But kayaks, I've been doing a bit of research because, I mean, everyone knows that I'm a shit fisherman, but I'm getting better and learning. Like the people that we meet on this podcast have definitely helped that. So, big shout out to all those people that give me advice. I very much appreciate it. It has made a difference. But kayaks, I think, would be like the dream because then you just get a couple of kayaks. You can whack them on the top of your roof. Like it's small. You can get in and out. Like as long as you're not going for massive fish that'll maybe drag you along. But that might be the way to go if you're starting out.
Yeah, look, I'd like the idea of kayaks, and I did a bit of looking around at buying some a while ago as well. And I got to admit that if you're going to look for a kayak, this is a couple of years ago, but the best one that I could find was the Native 10. And this thing was absolutely awesome. So basically, you could use your oars to paddle, or you could use like your feet, or it had this compartment that you opened up, and you could stick a what are they called? Those snakes? Fuck,
Penis.
I think boar snake, but it's a water snake or something like that, and it's an electric motor.
Like so you can motorise your kayak.
Yeah, a tiller steer electric motor, and you could just put your battery behind your seat, hook it up, deck out lights, deck out everything.
Dude, like that's I'm
Even
talking
the
about like when I was in ISO, I was researching these. Like there are some fucking off their tits kayaks that you can buy, kitted out, ready to go.
Yep.
With like all kinds of shit.
And you can stand in them now as well. Like that they're made to be that stable. You can stand up out of your chair and walk within reason along the kayak a little bit.
Well, someone your weight.
Yeah, you
there's some guys in the States that are like hardcore into like bass fishing from kayaks, some of them are big boys, and they're just walking. They're standing up in these kayaks as well, especially to cast. Like they're standing up to cast into those real snaggy areas.
You're telling me there's no stabilizer and they're standing up in a kayak?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
like the tech is absolutely outstanding in them now.
Yeah, there's kayaks that are designed to be stood up in without a seat. Like there's like a rail that you sort of lean back on.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah, they have like these like a rail that slots in and you can hold onto it. Yeah, and the electric engines, the water snakes, they come with like so it's like an anchorless system. So essentially, you just press like anchor, and the engine will work and keep you in the one spot. You can steer with this little remote control. You can stop, you can start it, everything, man. Absolutely
It's
insane.
like what's that? When you've got like a regular boat, you've got your outboard, but then you've got like the little motor that goes on the front, and you use that to stabilize yourself. Is it called maybe a stabilizing engine? Is that what it's called? I thought the
Ballast.
No idea.
ballast. That might be it. It's like that, but it's for a kayak that you're thinking of, where you just and it's all automated. Like it gets your GPS coordinates, and then it works and figures out the pull of the waves and the tide and that, and to keep you in that one spot. It's all completely automated, which is fucking cool. But if you're talking about that sort of rig, you might as well just go buy a fucking tinny.
Yeah, but look, I looked into it for a while because I thought about the physical I like rowing, so I thought about the physical sort of like side of it as well.
Which isn't practical if you're fishing.
How do you?
Well, no, because you're using it to get to spots to then stop and throw a line in.
Have you ever tried rowing through surf?
Yeah, man. Yeah, many times. It's not that bad. You just got to fucking you got to keep on keeping on, right?
Well, my other point, I guess, here is I don't have a tinny. I could go buy one. I have mates with boats. I have access to a kayak. I just can't be fucked going to get it.
You have mates with boats?
Oh, jeez.
Do you have a boat, Ryan?
No,
I don't have a boat.
he doesn't have any mates with
So
boats.
he doesn't have any mates with boats.
If my friends were limited to just you two, that would scare me. Now,
Which he's fluffing up his own skirt there. They are limited to us too.
I'm sorry. That's not my point here. My point is the fact that I could go and do other things and spend money and buy boats and go borrow the kayaks that my brothers have, which I can use anytime because fucking they don't use them.
How many friends do you have?
But I'm going to press on anyway because
Why don't you buy a boat? Why don't I'm actually surprised.
because I don't have anywhere to store it.
No, you do. There's the grass outside.
Oh,
There's-
you can store
there's
it for
everything.
me. I don't have anywhere to
See,
store it.
I don't understand.
I don't have anywhere to store it. I don't
out of
want a
the
boat.
life,
I don't want a boat.
out of the time that
I
I've
don't want a
known
boat.
you,
I don't
why
want a boat.
haven't you bought
He doesn't
one
want a boat.
I don't
to
want a boat.
enhance your fishing
I
experiences?
don't want a boat.
You just don't want to look after
I
it.
don't want a boat.
You just don't want to
No,
look
I don't
after it.
need something else to look after and take up my time.
on a boat.
If I'm going to pick having a boat or going hunting more, I go hunting more. Simple as that. So
If you could buy a boat, what boat would you get?
I don't know because I haven't researched this because I don't want a boat. Now,
I can tell you.
have I shut this down yet? Fuck me. Stop trying to railroad me into some bullshit.
He's getting pissy because he's like, yeah, why haven't I bought a boat?
The next
'Cause I don't
your
want a
next
boat.
birthday, we're buying your boat.
But I don't want a boat.
You're getting a boat.
Yeah,
Well, make sure you give me the receipt so I can take it back.
Let's just go. Let's go on a gum tree and find the shittiest heap of crap.
With no motor,
Fiberglass, just
rowboat,
terrible.
just an old shitty like the ones they used to have in the city in that that lake that was like 2 foot of fucking water that the kids would roll around on and bang into each other.
Let's do
So
it.
you'll get one of those.
Let's get him one.
So now you're trying to kill me. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
You got to use the boat.
I think I just lost 2 friends.
And now you have no friends.
I have none.
Oh shit!
Anyway, my point belatedly getting to here is I know that I'm flogging a dead horse when I go fishing.
Because you haven't bought a boat.
And yet I still go and try my luck fishing because sometimes you get a little glimpse, you get onto something, but I still go and fish land-based even though I know I'm flogging a dead horse because there's more to fishing than actually catching fish, which is you can just get away from everyone. You can go clear your head. You can just stare into the water and just have some fucking downtime. And that is why I still go fishing land-based in SA.
You sound like a Debbie Downer, eh?
I stare at water all the time in my house.
Hey?
So are you dismissing a reason that I go fishing?
No, I just said you sound like a Debbie Downer. I'll go to clear my head and get away from my friends and family.
It sounds like you're dismissing a reason that I go fishing.
This sounds like a bit of a Debbie Downer. I go fishing to get on the piss and catch fish with my mates.
I go fishing to get on the piss.
Wait, you go fishing?
No. No, I do actually. Do you know what?
All right, Josh, you can talk now.
It's okay, it's done.
No.
Don't take the legitimacy out of what he's saying, Josh.
No, I get you. Like, it is nice. And I've been out with you many, many times and we haven't said fucking fuck all to each other because we're just enjoying the serenity. But look.
But obviously, I would like to catch fish and I'd land some fucking stompers.
You see, you could do all this on your own private boat.
You know what? Sometimes I just like to just fucking clear my head and get out there. So the catching the fish part is irrelevant sometimes.
Are you saying
you could do that on your own?
It's a bit of you time.
On your own boat.
A motherfucking boat.
And then you could take me as well.
You buy a boat. I've already got a fucking 79 and a caravan. Stick a titty on top.
I will be buying a boat to put on top of the 79. Don't you worry.
I'm going to drill a fucking hole.
But I'm going to be like, Caleb, you can't go on this because there'll be two, so there'll be no serenity or quiet time.
I'm going to drill a fucking
and
hole.
And he can he's only going to be able to afford a boat. Like by boat, he means a fucking one-man kayak.
Yeah, I reckon with all the money you've spent on a caravan and a 79, I think your boat's not really going to be great. You know that fucking Gumtree special you're talking about?
Nah, those tinnies aren't that bad, man, to be honest. Like, you can get away with, what, 6, 7 grand.
Tinnies are great for like just getting out. Like, it's like that. It's like that good medium where
I did have my phone on silent, so I don't understand.
Oh, hang on.
How
I don't understand how your phone is not on silent.
Magically came off.
How the fuck does that happen?
Nope. Okay, it wasn't on silent.
It will turn it off vibrate as well.
No, he leaves it on vibrate.
It's a Samsung. It doesn't have that mode.
It fucking does. Mine's on it right now.
Nah, doesn't have it.
No, you just don't know how to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Josh's ability to use technology.
Sorry, we're rudely interrupting you, Ryan and Caleb.
No. What do you mean we?
My phone and I.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh may struggle with a mobile phone, but you put that man in front of a wall-mounted analog phone, he knows his way around it. Like there's no tomorrow.
There's a big hand on the little hand.
Anyway, back to you dismissing my feelings and emotions.
I get you, but you're flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, so sometimes you know you're not going to catch anything, but it's good just as an excuse to escape and just fucking sit there and stare at some water.
You see, this is odd coming from someone that knows you relatively well, because you do typically strive for perfection, or you strive to do the best you can. So it's odd when you go fishing to the same spots that you know you're going to be flogging a dead horse. You don't change it up. You might change up within, I guess, like, I don't know, a 5K radius, but you've got your little spots that you rotate around, all in the same area, and you don't push past it. You don't go, okay, what's the next step? What do I need to catch bigger and better fish? What gear do I need? Where should I go? What times a year?
Maybe he's not going for the fish.
As I said, you can catch nothing on a boat as well and have the serenity.
Well, you're really hung up on this boat thing, huh?
No, I am astounded that out of all of us, like, you've never bought a boat.
You think?
Because no.
Dude, out of
it's
all
about
of
priorities,
us,
man.
Out of all of us, I'd say you'd be the one to buy a boat. Well, hell, your dad did buy a boat.
I bought a boat in Darwin, but that's Darwin. Didn't have to have a license.
What happened to that boat? You don't have to hang on. You don't have to have a boat license in Darwin.
No, you don't need a boat license.
Oh, it's because no one wants to buy a fucking boat because they don't want to get eaten by crocs.
Everyone goes fishing and has boats up there. Like, it's insane. But you don't need a license. So, yeah, it's weird. And the only thing that stopped me in South Australia really is because I've got to get off my ass and go do my license, which I've been doing the practice test for, and I've aced it.
You only got one wrong.
It's now time to bite the bullet and go do it, because I do want to get that rooftop tinny. But I don't understand why you like because you do strive for perfection in most other areas of your life. So I don't get it.
I've
What?
just never
He's just explained
found
it to
the
you.
need to enter the money pit that is having a boat and having to store it and having to pay for fuel, having to get a boat license, all that shit.
I've got an idea.
While we're on boats, I got a story. While I was going fishing yesterday, there was, as I was driving along, I saw the police and ambulance on the side of the road, on the other side.
On land
As
or on
I-
water?
And as I approached on land, someone had pulled their car off to the side and there was a boat trailer and the boat was on the side of the road. And you do actually see this quite a bit where people's caravans come off or their boats come off and end up in traffic. This guy's boat slid off his trailer and hit a pedestrian.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
What
So-
sort of boat?
Oh, just, you know that Gumtree special you just described? Literally that. It was like yellow fiberglass. Just
with the white bottom and the yellow top with the black lining, like the black trim.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Right. So, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck's happened here? And so all I've spotted was a lady being treated by ambulance. 20 metres ahead of that, there was the car pulled over and the boat was on the side of the road on the pavement.
Can I ask you one question? Did the boat have blood red speed stripes?
I could not see the offending side of the boat where there would be red speed stripes,
That's insane. Someone's getting sued.
Sorry, I cut you off there. What were you saying?
aka blood. And I thought, oh, fuck, I wonder if the boat's come off the trailer and hit this lady.
Mm.
I'm like, but what are the chances of a boat sliding off a trailer and hitting a pedestrian? Anyway, next day, scrolling through Facebook, and there's a post from Sapol. It was literally exactly that. This guy is going up, 70-year-old bloke was going, allegedly, was heading up Grand Junction Road, boat slid off trailer, hit a 50-year-old lady on the side of the road.
Far out. How unlucky is that, man?
Imagine writing out that report though. Like, how did this person get injured? Well, they got hit by a boat on the road.
Do you know the amount of times I've overloaded a trailer or not tied shit down? That's pretty unlucky to get a whole boat off your trailer.
Well,
True. We obviously this is the other thing. They drug tested him.
Oh, crack, cocaine.
Nah, just cannabis. But
Oh,
and he was 70, so I'm
gateway
just,
drug, man.
I'm
Gateway
just assuming
drug.
he didn't tie it on properly.
nah, that's all right. Like that can't.
right? He went
there's
out-
nothing wrong with that. You just can't drive
The dude probably
Yeah,
went out for some
12
whiting and a
hours
spliff. Like, so what?
some water.
Comes home, kills someone with his boat.
I forgot to tie my boat on. Yeah,
Anyway, so
maybe don't
Maybe
fish
that-
in marijuana.
maybe
I would like one marijuana, please.
maybe that's another reason I haven't got a boat yet. I might forget to tie it on properly.
Yeah, you don't want to get a boat because you don't want to kill people, man.
So much responsibility. I have enough of that in my life.
I feel like you need to chase your passion, whatever makes you happy, and just
Dude,
dive into
at the
it.
moment, hunting number one compared to fishing.
It's because you don't have good experiences with fishing.
I've had good experiences with fishing. That's why I still do it. And I'm still prepared to flog the dead horse because there's still the other element, which I did describe and you dismissed very promptly, which was it's nice to just be out at the ocean, looking into the sea, like the same as being around a campfire and staring into a fire. It's just nice to be out there and enjoy the serenity and your own thoughts, process some shit in your own mind,
Feelings.
be away from people like you.
All right, Debbie Downer, that's enough of that shit.
I feel that way when I watch Care Bears.
Fine. Well, let's move on.
Let's move on.
It's your topic breakdown, Josh. Go for it.
All right.
I hope we're up and about. I hope this is vibrant because I don't want this Debbie
It's
Downer
not.
shit.
This is actually quite morbid.
Oh,
and it's to do with hunting. So on the weekend, I was...
What does that? If that was supposed to be a segue, it was fucking shit.
No, it's definitely morbid. So this weekend I was down hunting in the southeast, and I was down with Richie and Steve, some mates of ours.
Shout out to those big boys.
Hey buddies, how you going? Anyway, we were at a cabin, and there was another guy at this cabin, and he's a good fella. Look, I'm not going to mention names
Was it in the woods?
just yet. Yes, it was in the scrub.
So you're at a cabin in the woods.
Yes, with three dudes.
Fuck, we all know the ending to that.
I think it was wine and candles, wasn't there?
Lots of wine and candles. If a candle is a thumper box and some LED lights, yes.
So you guys had
Whose
a
box
fucking
did you thump? What?
homo
A
disco.
oh, good God. It's a fucking battery box, mate. It's called a thumper.
Is this a dildo? What
No,
are you talking
dildo.
about?
Sounds like a dildo.
It does. 12-inch and black.
This is just
Double-ended
showing your
'cause
ignorance.
he likes to share.
Anyway,
What are the big batteries? Ds?
Big D's.
D cells?
D
Yeah,
cell.
the D cell battery.
you're just trying to
I believe they
blackjack.
come in packs of 2.
Mate, if
You're just
you're
trying to
fucking going to call me a Debbie Downer, I'm going to shit all over your parade.
So he took 2
That's
D
all right.
cells while he's in the cabin in the woods with 2 other guys.
Apparently so.
It's got a reciprocating head.
Really? So you gave someone head and they reciprocated? Is that what you're saying?
I believe the word you're looking for is gyrating.
Anyway, so
Tell us more about this reciprocated head.
I was out with this fella, and we just got to chatting, and something that like comes up a lot in the conversation in amongst hunters is hunting on Crown land in South Australia. Now, we all know that you're not allowed to hunt Crown land in South Australia, and it's
Well,
been
those
like
of
that
us
way for a while now.
Those are from South Australia, know that?
Yeah, well, most people, yeah,
Or
would
anyone
know
who
that from
listened to
South
last
Australia.
week's episode with Dano, Josh
Anyway,
talked about it.
When we were talking about this, I asked this fella, and hopefully he'll be a guest on our future podcast, but I'll keep names out of it for the time being.
Mysterious.
Yes, very. Anyway, I asked him about it, and I said, "Oh, how has the ADA ever tried to branch into public land?" Because I've never understood why the government is spending so much money on aerial culling Crown land when they could simply just close it off for hunters or seasonal, or just leave it open and have strict guidelines and booking guidelines like New South Wales or Victoria. We can learn from those states. I'd never understood why we spend so much money and why we shouldn't allow the parks to be open. Now, whether that's under a balloted system or you pay for a tag and you're only allowed 1 tag a year or whatever, in my mind, that's generating income instead of spending.
We could be doing better.
Income, definitely. And like we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on aerial culls here in South Australia. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I'd asked him why, or had the ADA tried to open up Crown land, especially in the southeast, when not a lot of people go for holidays on Crown land in some of the southeast. And he turned around to my surprise and said that the ADA had been fighting for it for the last decade. So talking about flogging a dead horse. So they had been back and forth with the council and state government about allowing access for ADA members to hunt on Crown land. And they actually made some headway. Yes. So it was actually all going to be signed off and all going ahead. It was all, past the planning stages. Everything was, it's good to go last year.
And then we got elections this year, and then
Nope.
it's going to fuck it up, or COVID fucked it up.
So, as we know, the ADA, and I love the ADA, it has been an eye-opener, and I can't stress it. Like, if you want to join a club and get out to hunt some deer, join the ADA. But there's groups, so there's regional clubs, right, of the ADA. So there was a particular member in the Adelaide branch of the ADA that I'll step back for a second. So this is all going ahead, and the southeast branch was like, okay, we can't handle this by ourselves. We're going to need some more people to manage the deer on the Crown land as well. So they approached the Adelaide branch and said, do you guys want to come in and do it with us? And the Adelaide branch said, yeah, cool. We're into it. We'll do it. Except for one guy. Apparently there was one guy in the Adelaide branch that had turned around and basically gone behind everyone's back and went to the council and squished the idea of it.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know, and I don't understand, and I don't want to be controversial in, a very small sort of population of hunters or anything like that, but I don't know why he did this. But essentially, he stopped it all. He just squished it.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken to a couple of guys in South Australia that have been members of the startup hunting groups as well. Those guys have all been members of the ADA as well. So I'd say if it doesn't make sense logically what they're saying, my opinion, it's definitely not based on any fact at all, would be there's an ulterior motive in that. Which fucks it up for everyone else.
I asked actually if this fella had his hand in the aerial culls and things like that. Like, or is he part of it? Is he getting, paid to do the aerial culls? Because naturally you're going to protect your income.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to protect your income. And I asked that and he said no, he didn't. And so that just baffled me even more. I was like, well, wait a second, why? And then the ADA had fought this for a few more years, and this guy apparently kept squishing any idea of hunting on Crown land to the point where the ADA have basically, for the time being, stopped trying because it's become that difficult.
Makes you wonder though, like for one, like because the ADA is quite a broad organisation, and then one person to have that much influence over a decision of something that's been agreed upon and been fought for such a long time.
Look, I don't think it's that hard to persuade someone in this sort of context.
Oh, especially if it's like some politician
in the way of
that doesn't know.
safety.
If they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then you got some guy who comes from the group of people that you're supposed to have this agreement with, is saying, actually,
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to raise questions.
yeah,
isn't it?
that's true.
We should highlight, though, that this is all alleged and this is a
alleged.
conversation. We don't
Yes,
know both sides. So we should highlight that. It's not gospel.
Without a doubt.
It's a conversation you've had, and it's fairly likely that it's true. But we should definitely highlight that we don't know all the facts. We don't know the whole story, but this is what's come across your desk this week, basically.
Yeah, and essentially this is you're right, Caleb. And look, I love and support the ADA, and we all do here at Centre, mate, and we will continue to do it and dive further into supporting it.
We'd love
as
to
much as we
investigate
can.
further, basically, to find out why.
I guess there's something that I wanted to bring up. If any of our listeners know anything about this, like I'd really like to know, because I'm baffled as to why still we're paying money to cull deer in South Australia when the state could be paid
As
have it happen.
taxpayers, why we're paying.
I think it comes down to the with everything in politics, everything's short term. Like our political parties have never put a plan in place that's lasted any expedient amount of time.
Well, look, it is, but it's not like it's a brand new concept. The concept's done in other states, and we can learn from it. And
Yeah, no, you're right.
and
You're
and
right.
refine it
If
to
anything,
how
improve on
it
it.
suits our state or improve it. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm not saying anything contrary to that at all, but the climate of politics and the way they operate today would mean paying for something that's controversial, and it's paying for something that would take a certain amount of infrastructure to be set up before it could be rolled out, which means long-term investment. And it doesn't look good for a political party to be investing in hunting grounds, which is why the Victorians did it so well.
What I would argue, though, is how it gets framed. So,
That's what
our
that was
state government's
leading into.
talking about building a fucking basketball stadium, which we don't fucking need,
Oh, fuck me.
which is a cost to the taxpayer. Whereas something like this can actually earn money and put money back into the government coffers, and maybe we could get some fucking tax relief as a result. Who knows?
Who the fuck? Like you've hit a button there, like because I can get very political and whatnot. But how many stadiums now have they built?
Well,
Why they? I mean,
right, don't shit on Adelaide Oval because that's amazing. And
Well,
fucking-
they actually sold a lot of our national parks here in this state to fund that oval, and I completely disagree with it. I hate it. I don't get behind that at all. No.
I will.
No, I
I will
don't.
disagree with you there because it's
don't.
amazing.
Look,
It's amazing
it
for
definitely
this, like-
generates some revenue in the state, and there's no doubt about that. But I don't believe that we should have forfeit some of our national parks for it. I'd highly think that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I agree with Josh.
Well, I didn't know that they did that to fund it.
Yeah, it was like 500
Dude,
million
anything-
bucks. Of,
Yeah, that's
Anything
what the stadium
national park.
cost. No, that's
Yeah.
what the stadium cost.
it was something astronomical, man. When I was,
That's
I
what the stadium
remember.
cost. It didn't all come from selling national parks.
No, not all of it, but some of it. I don't know how much.
Despite
but
that,
they
like
sold
to
heaps.
say that something's good, like anything that they build now, anything that's got a significant amount of money poured into it is going to be good. Like there's no doubt about that. Compared to what we have, it's got to be good. what you're sacrificing to get that and where that money could go. Like, I mean, fuck, in South Australia, we've got so many other problems that are so much worse than whether we've got a stadium that's state of the art, whether it be basketball or football or whatever the fuck it is. Like, I think that to me is a grab for votes. That's all that is. It's not investing in the future of the population.
That's what it is, though, because it generates money.
It is.
It does.
It is. That's incorrect. It certainly is generating money. And look, it is good for the state. I just believe that we shouldn't have funded it by selling some of our national parks.
Correct. And I don't know if that is or not true. I'd never actually heard that was the case.
So this is,
but
this
I
is
would
what
say
I
that the stadium, as a net result, is a benefit.
Does that money, money from the stadium, goes into, assuming it goes into the economy? So who owns the stadium? I don't know because I don't give a fuck.
It would be
the stadium
sector of investors, and then the state.
There's the SACA, there's the SMA, there's fucking various bodies, and the government.
That it would be like a public-private partnership or something similar to that, where the government would get either tax benefits or some percentage of profit margin, or whatever. I don't know how it would work. Offset that. Like, so you're looking at it as an investment, right? So they build a stadium and it generates income for the local economy. The government assumedly gets a stake in that as well. That stake, the payoff, right, monetary value, could that money have been put into something else to have a better payoff value or to generate a better future for the population?
Well, we're not going to go down a rabbit hole of Adelaide Oval, but as an overall, it's a benefit because it's a world-class stadium and it's right next to the city. So all the associated businesses in the city benefit because people go out and spend their money in the CBD after they've been to concerts, to sporting events, to everything.
Well, that makes
Plus,
sense.
there's all the money for the people the construction of the fucking thing in the first place. So
Which would have been an interstate company because there's no companies in South Australia that could manage that.
I think you're right. I think,
but people locally worked on it. So, it might have been a company, but there's still people locally that have worked on it. And I can go to Adelaide Oval and help build it, and that's my job, and I'm a South Australian citizen.
Yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with that, and you're certainly right, Caleb. It certainly generates and has a flow of revenue for the state. How we got there?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it should have
overall,
been fucking
it's a good
defined
thing,
bit
but
better.
if they did actually take money from selling off national parks, then that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. Now, back onto the national park thing. In my mind, it's a very simple and easy way to generate a lot of income. I mean, the shooting industry is worth billions of dollars worldwide. Why can't we get a slice of that flowing into our state funds here?
True.
And we should. We can pay for things like a fucking basketball stadium if we need one.
Well, that's the thing. That was probably a better way of wording my question, where if you're talking about investing in income, jobs, ways to get people benefiting, Jesus, I don't know why that word's so hard to say, benefiting from it, would it be better off investing in infrastructure, which would be substantially less of a cost for hunting? Even if you got a portion of the stadium and of what the funding was for the stadium and put that into setting up the infrastructure for hunting, which is just a fucking app and a website.
No, look, I think no, you don't need to draw funds from anywhere else because they're already paying money for culls. So how about we just utilise that money that they typically use to pay for a cull?
There's a budget for different sections of the government. So
Yeah,
whatever
that's true.
hunting comes under, I don't fucking know, the sports minister
environment.
or environment or whatever.
Yeah.
So then there's a certain amount of money allocated every year to that fucking portfolio.
That's what I mean, though. Use that to do the infrastructure that needs to be supported for public land access hunting.
The point is they could easily do it. They could just
generate income off of it.
stop wasting money in other sectors, funnel some money over there and go, well, let's invest in that. Let's take some money from here, invest in that because long term that can actually be sustainable and generate some money back into the coffers.
Yeah. And it's obviously, even though deer here in South Australia are considered a pest, not a game species, it also supports growth and management of healthy deer. Now, I really would like to to hear from any listeners out there that know anything else about this or know any more about this. So if you do, please hit us up on Send It Mate, because I'm quite intrigued about it. And it does seem like us hunters out there are just flogging a dead horse in South Australia with public land hunting. And it would be great to change that. And if Send It Mate could help be a platform to change that, then, well, hot dog, that benefits a whole heap of dudes.
And
We
the
will
state.
we will raise the flag to make the
Josh,
change.
be inclusive, dudes and
Doodads,
Dudettes.
thank you.
And
doodles.
Dude, that was quite morbid. Like I might
It
need
was.
to go. I might need to go for a fish and be alone with my thoughts.
I'll
Just
catch
to
you
recover.
later. Let me know if you catch any fish.
You guys got it from here. I'll fucking go now.
Oh, he only catches big ones.
We got it. Catch you later. Carbs on an intermission.
See ya.
Yeah, he's going to go dangle his rod in
There's
the
got
water.
to be a meme that's feeling sad going for a fish.
And I'm back. Caught nothing.
Look, it was morbid, but it's something that I wanted to do, and I thought I could use in the title of today of Flogging a Dead Horse, because I can guarantee you all three of us sitting at this table right now would love to have public land access.
I don't think it is
And-
flogging a dead horse, though. I don't think it's dead. I think there's.
Well, I don't think they're going to allow it. Not in our lifetimes.
I don't think it's
I'd be
dead. I just think we
surprised.
need to understand. I think we just need to understand what's going on behind the scenes, and who sits where, and who's who in the zoo, and who calls shots, because we don't know.
That's true.
We are not.
Okay, so the
balls
question
deep
is
enough.
it flogging a dead horse?
It may not be.
I don't actually think it is, because I think it's a bloody good idea, and if it works for other states, it can certainly work here.
Maybe it's a case of the wrong horses being flogged. So the idea is great, but the way that's being gone about it is wrong.
Well, you're right. You know, we all know in law if you change a bit of wordings, you can pass whatever you want if you just change some word.
We don't know if there's some rich pastoralist sitting on a board somewhere who's just actively blocking it, because his opinion is, I fucking want every deer in the state dead because it affects my crops, it affects this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
We don't know, man.
So for those listening, if you do know or know someone who is in the know, please contact us, because we would love to speak to them and find out what the story is, and find out maybe a bit of history behind what the fight has been and what the future can potentially hold for this particular subject.
We definitely don't want to be ignorant on this topic. Like, it's something we're passionate about, and we want to understand in depth what is going on that prevents something we think is a good thing, which is public land hunting in our state.
Yeah, and we're definitely not trying to piss anyone off by talking about this topic, but certainly the idea is maybe we could generate some more awareness and maybe some help from the outside that could see this get through. So we're not flogging a dead horse.
No, the horse is alive and well.
And then Caleb can celebrate in his solitude fishing.
With small hooks. Well,
I got nothing for you. I don't know what to say to that.
speaking of fishing,
Just shit it on
I'm
me.
fishing for an opening where I can create a segue into me. Into me starting my topic bracket.
Create a segue into you.
Yeah, segue into. I got many a segue.
I think it's
Bend
called-
over and pull up your
Yeah,
socks.
It's called lube. That's a segue into you.
No, segue would be buying me a drink, Caleb.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Jump straight to the lube. You're not a gentleman.
I think a compliment.
Well, maybe you are a gentleman
You don't
because
need
you
a drink. You
reached
just
for the
need a
lube.
compliment.
You don't even have to buy him dinner, man. It's
No, you
just a
don't. You just have to
beverage.
say, "Oh, you look good today, Ryan." You just fucking drop this down.
Yeah, no, I end up throwing you the lube. Take it, put it in me.
Ryan's sitting there just like smoking a cigarette, just fucking, you know, like sweating and just looking all haggard. As soon as you said he's good looking.
And then I turn to you and say, "Was as good for you as it was for me?" Wow.
All right. Well, while you wipe up your cum from your pants, what is your fucking breakdown of this
Yeah, where
topic?
did I put my mom? So,
He's looking for the earbuds, I believe.
Oh, yes. Cotton tips? Yes. Well played. Well played, sir. You just been downgraded from a mop to a cotton tip.
Fuck, you could have just said wet ones, but no. Fucking cotton ball, that shit. Blow on it, let it evaporate. So, flogging a dead horse. So, I'm going to change the wording a little bit. So, I'm going to change the title to, Is Flogging a Horse Flogging a Dead Horse? And I'm going to let you mull on that one.
Is flogging a horse flogging a dead horse?
We're back on masturbating a horse.
I reckon I know where you're going with this. Do you want to hear something that I legitimately was going to use as my topic breakdown?
Yes.
I was literally going to go flogging. That's another word for selling. Dead horse. That's another word for sauce. Australian slang for sauce. I was going to talk about selling sauce.
That would have been excellent.
Well,
boring as fuck. But
I ran that
pretty
past the
smart.
missus and she's like, that sounds boring. Don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah. Please don't go too intricate because I feel like when
And then I just opened up and talked about my feelings
You got shat
and you just shat all over me.
No, I didn't shit all over you. I just feel like what
it
you had
smells
to
like
bring
shit.
to the table.
It tastes like shit. It was shit.
It's definitely
terrible.
shit. It's fucking shit.
I just feel like you could have been a little less shit.
I've been watching The Dictator again. What happened to me?
Be a little less shit. Do better.
So flogging a horse, is that flogging a dead horse? Is that what you said?
No, flogging a live horse. So what I'm talking about is the use of whips in horse racing. So there's been a lot of controversy that gets brought up around whenever there's the Melbourne Cup, the Adelaide Cup, like the go-tos in the news, all of the fucking RSPCA and Peter and every other motherfucker that thinks they love animals but don't actually know how they work has their voice heard about the cruelty of animals. So flogging a live horse, the whole flogging a dead horse is that whole subject of whether or not horse racing should include the whip or the crop, is actually what it's called.
Peter don't even like the term flogging a dead horse.
No.
They prefer to say feeding a fed horse.
Wait, hang on. Say that again, because I've never heard
So
that.
you know all the sayings involving animals, like kill two birds with one stone or flog a dead horse.
Yeah.
There's literally a list that exists where Peter suggested alternatives, like woke alternatives to those
Who is
sayings.
she?
Peter's a dickhead.
Who is she?
Peter, PETA, like the animal
Yeah,
welfare
who is she?
group.
Never heard of her.
I don't
Well-
think that's your best work, Josh.
Fuck
It's
it.
do better.
Fucking hell, mate.
But yeah, so the alternative to flogging a dead horse is feeding a fed horse.
That's
So it's not having a
terrible.
negative connotation against an animal.
Feeding a fed horse. That is terrible. Well, it's funny you bring up I because I obviously do the old research, trying to look into the subject. All of the information that pops up when you research, like the first couple of pages, is just like Peter and RSPCA, absolute fucking bullshit. Like, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here because this is a rabbit hole I'm going to go down. Like, for those playing at home, if you're reading any sort of scientific documentation or something that's using stats and they keep swapping from percentages to actual number figures, then back to percentages, that is a massive red flag that they're bullshitting you. So what they do is they reference this, like, oh, fuck.
And if you're reading those things, your name is probably wrong.
Oh, it shits me to fucking tears. Like, I get to that and I'm like, yeah, you're fucking lying. Because they're like, 94% of blah, blah, blah. But then at least 28 of something else is, and you're like, mate, what are the real fucking, like, because they change it to a numerical number instead of a percentage because the percentage would be quite low. Whereas if they say a numerical number, there's nothing that your brain compares it to, so it sounds big. Anyway.
They're trying to win their argument.
That's exactly what it is. So there's this guy called Paul McGreevy who is a professor. I think he's from the Uni of Sydney, but he, as like from far back as 2012, has been doing these so-called experiments and papers, and he works with horses and has written a bunch of books and stuff. But he's basically been flogging a dead horse and trying to get the crop taken out of horse racing. So it's been sort of this, the history of it is activists come in, have a fucking sook every year, and then it's slowly progressed to the rules changing. There actually is rules in how many times that a jockey can whip his horse.
Sorry, I'm just in my mind currently digressing to the podcast. My dad wrote a porno. And the Duchess with her riding crop.
Boy, that's a great
That's funny.
podcast, bro.
That is a great
That is
podcast.
actually, oh man. Oh, have they come out with a second one yet?
Dude, there's like 5 series.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
He's
dude.
written so many books.
So for everyone that, once you've listened to all episodes of Send It Mate podcast, look up
Which is going to be forever. That's right.
it's forever.
It's never ending.
Once you've
We've committed.
exhausted our back catalogue.
Well, it's funny you could say that because, like, when you think like sex toys and like horse whip. It's like the stick with the sort of square bit of leather on the end of it.
Yeah.
They don't use them. They
actual horse riding.
They're not allowed to use them. Yeah, the whip that they use now is actually made of foam, and it's not even it's like they call it a whip, but it makes a noise. It's designed to make noise more so than inflict pain. It's soft.
Well,
it's foam.
this is the funny thing that I'm going to just stop you right there. If you think you're hurting like a fucking 250 kilo animal or more with a little piece of leather, you're fucked in the head.
Yeah.
If you're listening out there, Peter, whoever the fuck you are, you're fucked in the head. These things jump barbed wire fences and rip their guts open, and they still walk around like nothing's happened. You're fucking idiots.
Well, it's funny you should say that because
That really grinds my gears.
this guy, this Mr. Greavy has
Go fishing, mate. It'll make you feel better.
Can you come?
sort out those feels.
I can. I've done it multiple times in a row as well. Do you want to see?
Did you need
I
a mop,
actually
or did you
don't
need a
believe
cotton
you at
bud?
all. I look at you and I'm like, your stamina.
Why are you questioning my stamina in the bedroom, my friend?
Well, he's not built for sprinting.
Definitely not.
Slow grind.
No, sorry to jump back, Ryan. I think this is ridiculous. So
No, it is.
the reason why humans are the way we are is because we are 1,000 times more sensitive than any animal.
It's funny you say that because they did a test. This guy did a test to find out the sensitivity in comparison to humans. How do you think he did that?
Was there something sexual involved?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you like
Look,
putting lotions
I mean,
on
if
the
you derive
stilts-
pleasure from pain, then the results are skewed,
Look,
Ryan.
Look,
I'm sorry.
I don't think you can talk about. So I've seen like horses; they'll twitch when a fly lands on them, and obviously, it's got some feeling there to register that there's a fly there and twitch that muscle. But if it causes pain, no.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so the research this guy did was got the thickness of the skin of a human, and then the accumulative nerves that show up in the scan. So the nerves that you can see below the skin of a human, and compared that to the horse, just the skin and just the nerves. Mm-hmm. And you can see in the photo that the horse has got less nerve endings in the connection, but they're saying that it has more. But they also didn't take into account that the horse has hair covering it as well. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where this guy has, and all of these experiments were funded by the RSPCA or PETA, and that in itself, like, fuck, that's another red flag, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wanting to source credibility, find out who's funding the experiments and the projects. Anyway,
One day we should get a member from PETA on the podcast.
Do you think they're going to come on after your rant just then?
Oh yeah, we're all adults. They can call me a shit cunt. I don't care. We'll just get them on and we'll talk shit.
it would be. Do you know what? I would be genuinely interested to find out what, like, if
What's the matter, Caleb? What?
I mean, you just
I'm
finished
no-
with "You're fucked," and now you just want one of them to come on the podcast.
Oh, bro.
We're all adults.
As I said, mate, we're all adults. Like, I'll call you fucked some days and you're still sitting here.
Maybe this is why I go and fish alone.
Do you take a box of tissues with you?
No.
Well, he doesn't take any friends with him.
You don't need tissues. You just do it in the water.
I've never been fishing with him. Have you been fishing with him?
It's called burley.
Oh, who's Burley, and is she hot?
How was that a woman's name?
Well, Burley,
Burley.
that's very
I
feminine.
mean, it sounds like a 45-year-old
Not really.
lady who smokes 2 packs a day. But
It does.
Burley.
Big and
I know.
burly.
Burley.
Beryl?
Beverly.
Do you think of Beryl? Beryl?
Beryl?
Beryl.
Beryl sounds like an 80-year-old. Don't know where you're going with this. You can't save that joke. I'm sorry. Unsavable.
That's funny.
Anyway, back to Peter and horsewhipping.
Yeah, so this guy, all right, like, the point of the whole thing is that he's been flogged a dead horse all the way up to last year, where he released a couple of papers in an animals journal, which in itself is just fucking bullshit. But that was funded by the RSPCA again. I was actually thinking I should probably call Tash to speak to her about this because she's our sort of in-house horse lady.
Resident horse lady.
Horsey person, as she calls herself, which I might do just to get her perspective on it, and then maybe we can touch on it next week. But what are your well, yeah, fuck off.
Maybe should have done that before the episode. Here's a thought.
Yeah, no, I did. I did think of that. And then I realised that I probably don't have the fucking time. So I'll mention it.
So in other words, Tash, sorry mate, but Ryan's never gonna ring you and ask this question.
No, I will.
He's too shy.
No, I fucking will. No, I'm doing it now. I'm going to fucking call her and be like, hey, what do you know about horses and whips?
Talk about Tash. Actually, I was scrolling through some of Kenneth's clothing. Man, some of their stuff's all right, eh?
It's very smart.
Yeah, I like it.
Clothes are good too.
It's
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Right, go back to your fucking ISO fishing. Oh, I've got COVID. Where am I gonna stay? Oh, I'll just go. To
Maybe I should get COVID. I might be happier.
Nah, bro, because there's phones these days say no matter where you go, I will haunt you for the rest of your life.
I believe that's called bullying.
Nah, back in our day, it's called character building. That's politically wrong.
But that's one of those things. Like if it's that odd thing about Australian culture where your mates hang shit on you like there's no tomorrow.
Cal doesn't have any mates.
And then
Man, way to grind the knife into his
I
guts.
said your mates, not his.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
You're not really a mate unless you get hung
Yeah,
shit on. So what was it? So to sum up?
To sum up, well, the question was like, have you guys ever been to the races?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And were you pissed drunk?
Not particularly.
Were you dressed to the nines?
Dressed to the nines and merry.
You were merry, but you weren't pissed drunk.
There's a distinction there, isn't there? Pissed drunk is you just fucked, and merry is just you having a good time with some alcohol.
Oh, so I thought you meant you were jolly.
No, alcohol, merry.
You're tipsy. You're
Yeah.
tipsy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you place a bet?
Yes.
Did you win?
Yes.
Fuck, I've never won on the
I've
horses.
only bet on horses twice, and I won both, and that was the Melbourne Cup both times.
How much you win?
I won 300 something both times.
Fucking hell.
So first time I placed an each way 20. Oh no, both times I've placed $20 each way, and both times I won. So I won 330 one time and 350 something the other time.
Was that based on research and calculations? Or
Nope,
was that
that's based on I watched what the most experienced person that I was there with did, and I bet on the same horse.
Smart.
Yeah.
He's a work colleague,
Yeah.
and I'm like he bets on horses all the time, so whatever he's betting on, I'll do the same. This colleague was in his 60s and he'd been punting on the horses and owned his own horse, so he sort of knew what he was doing.
I knew his shit. See, I
So actually, no, that was 1 year. The next year, I just bet on the favourite and I won.
I just pick shit because it sounds cool.
Yeah, same.
Just I wonder why I always lose.
I don't mind a cheeky like multi on the greyhounds every now and then.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, the greyhounds are good, man. Actually, don't mind the greyhounds.
Bet responsibly.
Nah, I don't. That's why I don't gamble anymore because I cannot do it responsibly.
Because I have no money. Just kidding.
Called an addictive personality.
I do have a very addictive personality.
What, you reckon you could fall down that rabbit hole?
I have fallen down that rabbit hole. That's why I don't do it anymore. Yeah, man.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, super addictive personality. That's why me and gambling and drugs don't go well together.
That's fair enough. I need to ask, what was the outcome of the sensitivity? Because you never got there.
For what?
The horse and the human.
Oh, right. It was just a bunch of horse shit. Pun intended.
Which was more sensitive?
The claim was of the study was that the horse was just as sensitive as humans.
Oh.
But not, because they have less
But
nerve
not.
endings plus hair and thicker skin.
Yeah, so they didn't account for the variables, which means he's just a crock of shit. So that guy is definitely flogging a dead horse. But, I mean, a bit of fancy information is that the current rules for horse racing in South Australia, or I think it's in Australia in general, is that the jockey can only whip the horse 5 times during the race in non-consecutive strides up until the last 100 metres in which there is no limit with their little foam baton.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause-
you got to think about these animals are in a paddock. throughout the year. Okay, yeah, some of them might get treated quite nice and they're in stables and have rugs on and this and that. But man, they're a beast. They're an absolute beast of an animal. Like whipping them is not going to hurt them.
I think there's a massive misconception of the type of person that would complain about the treatment of a horse like that. And they've got this idea in their mind that a wild horse is like in these fucking pristine pastures. And
Man,
I think
the wild horses go through worse as well.
Oh, fuck yeah. And like nothing out in the wild dies of natural causes either.
I think whether or not it actually hurts the horse is irrelevant.
Yeah, but you got
no, not for my argument because I have no argument. For Peter's argument, it's an aggressive act against an animal. That's their angle.
You need to look at how that horse is broken. Fuck. These horses, like, they still have a level of being broken. And that process of breaking a horse, man, that's not always rosy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the other arguments is that the whip or the crop doesn't make a horse race faster. It has no relevance to the speed of the horse, which is fucking bullshit. Because again, it's another, like, I can keep going over this, but the point of the story is that all of the experiments and the scientific data, if you will, that they have to support what their arguments are is hollow bullshit because they don't control any of the variables. It's all funded by PETA and the RSPCA, and for some reason, because of the political correctness of it all, people just go with it.
But having said that, the RSPCA and like PETA do kill more animals than most people.
Yeah.
So they put down a shitload of animals.
Yep.
Are you telling the truth or have we skipped to the next subject? The next segment?
Nah.
We're not on the next segment?
No, they
Is that your segue to be like, hurry up?
A little bit.
Oh.
Because I also thought maybe you were just joshing then.
Oh, good segue.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So, for those who might be listening to us for the first time, this is a new segment that we have for this season.
We're still workshopping it.
We are.
I don't think we've perfected it yet.
We are.
And it's a work in progress.
And the life in everyone's voices tonight is just not there. I'm just not. You both sounding monotone. I don't know because I can't hear well at the best of times.
I haven't got your headphones in stereo, mate. I've just got it in mono.
I
snap.
don't know what that means, man.
Again, can work a wall phone.
Yep. All right, well, keep scrolling through your Nokia 3315 and tell us what you researched for
Unbreakable.
Snake is the best game.
just joshing.
All right, so I have, so my editor has prescribed to me that I should have shorter segments. Thank you very
I believe
much,
that was
Caleb.
listener feedback.
No, that was not. There was no listeners that fed back anything.
There was several
They wanted
feedbacks.
to hear more.
So, for those playing at home, Just Joshing is where Josh gives us some truths and some false information.
He can do whatever he wants,
Yeah,
but
I can do
either
whatever I
way,
want.
something for us is we need to be able to guess something. Whether it's random facts or whether it's a couple of stories, we need to be able to guess as to whether something's true or is he just joshing.
Well, here's one for you.
Just don't
I'm going to start this off. Is it illegal to carry more than 50 kilos of potatoes in WA?
That's a question.
Yeah, that's a question. I can do what I want.
it-
We just covered that.
Hang on. Is
Okay,
it true or false?
No, it's a
Or
question.
are we picking...
It's a question tonight.
I feel like you should make a statement and we should say it's either true or just joshing.
Oh, it's up to you.
All right,
This
so
is
the question
definitely a
was,
work in
is it
progress.
illegal to what?
To carry more than 50 kilos of potatoes in WA.
In your hands, in your car, in your boat, in your pants.
Fuck, carry.
I feel
I
like
don't
this
know.
is one of those crazy...
Carry.
I mean, I
Good
feel
God,
like
define carry.
if you can carry 50 kilos of potatoes, you're a reasonably strong individual. Therefore, it shouldn't be illegal. So no.
So it shouldn't be?
Or you will hurt yourself.
Well, yeah, you might.
Well,
it might
actually,
be
there
illegal.
could be very strict OHS laws, and
Yeah.
it might be illegal to carry 50 kilos of anything.
I'd say it would be because
By
technically
yourself.
25 kilos is a two-man job if you're going by current OHS standards.
Correct.
16 kilos max, bro.
Please elaborate, Josh.
well,
Are you talking about current climate?
is
Are
it
you talking
true
about
or
legislatively?
false?
It's not a true or false question.
Although now that I'm thinking about it,
I
there's like
asked
those
you,
crazy...
is it illegal? Yes, it is.
No, you should make a statement. It's illegal to carry
Sorry.
50 kilos.
Okay, I'll get right.
True or
My
false?
brain's not working.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking it up.
Oh, thank you.
Is it illegal or is it?
I don't know.
Tell me it's illegal,
Is
and
it-
I'll tell you you're just joshing. You're fucking up your own segment, bro.
All right, so are we supposed to answer true or false? Because if that's true, you have to give us a statement.
Is it true or false to carry more than 50 kilos of potatoes in WA?
No, just make a statement to us. Tell me it's illegal. Just tell me.
Just answer the fucking question.
Tell me it's illegal.
True or false, comma, it is illegal to carry 50 kilos worth of spuds in, where was it? WA. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with, see, there's all these laws that are still like from like 100 years ago in the UK.
man.
Look,
where like you can't carry a salmon down the main street and like random shit
you
like
know
that.
the craziest one, actually? Oh, I'll add this
Now
one
save it for a future segment. Save it.
I'll add it in after.
Hold it on. Put it back in the
I'll
memory
add it
bank.
in.
This new segment will be Am I Joshing?
All right. No, that's true, I reckon.
True?
True, yeah.
It is true.
Yes.
It is illegal to carry more than 50 kilos of potatoes in WA, and you could be fined $2,000 for your first offence or $5,000 for your second offence.
How much is that in pounds?
It'd be like 12,000, I think.
Because I feel like that would be like around the era when that was. Why?
This
Why?
sounds like a law the intern forgot to delete out of
You
a
like you
document.
get pulled over and the cop's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And you're like, "I'm carrying too many fucking spuds."
Do you know why? Probably because you can make moonshine.
We haven't had prohibition here though, have we?
Yeah, but
No, but you now have a license
that's a lot
to
of
make.
moonshine.
You need to have a license to make liquor.
No, you don't. You can make beer and shit in your house.
Mate, that was just my hypothesis.
That could be what are they called? Distribution quantities. So you could
intent to make moonshine.
Well, yeah, I get what you're
Tend to
what you're
It's like
saying.
you can if you get pulled over for a J bag, you're all good. But if you get pulled over with an ounce, you're fucked. Like you intend to distribute.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And
Like
if it's
you got
50
50
kilos of
pills on you, you're fucked. If you got like 2 pills, it's personal consumption.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
All right. Hit us with a statement.
All right. In Tasmania or South Australia, it is illegal to suggest that you will not ask any questions about the return of stolen property in an ad or a lost and found poster.
I mean, I feel like that's so random.
Hang on,
True or
can-
false?
Can you say that again?
If you have an ad, say, on Gumtree or a marketplace or something like that, and you're selling like a watch, and you're like, watch for sale, no questions asked, is that illegal?
I'm going to say that's illegal because that's like it's like a what do they call it? Safeguard against stolen goods. You can't be like, I've got this motorized scooter for sale and no questions, please just buy it.
When you first said it, it gave me the impression that it's illegal to try and get your stolen shit back. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, I'm saying writing. I said in South Australia, it's illegal to suggest that you will not ask any questions.
You know,
Oh, as in there's an ad and you go, no questions asked.
Yeah.
But that's basically implying it could be some illegal shit.
Yep.
that's some shady shit.
Nah, you're just joshing.
Nah,
Just joshing?
It's illegal. Yeah, I'm going to say you're not joshing.
Nope. It's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal to put that on your ad
No
I
questions
mean, like,
asked.
or your poster.
if you're like no questions asked, anyone who is in their right mind is going to be like, yeah, that's fucking stolen.
Well, I think it's quite funny because, like, if a police rings about it, like, say it is a stolen item, they find it down the chain, police rings the person with the original ad and asks, and the person goes, oh, no, I said no questions asked. No, that's not going to fly.
Yeah, but they have the right not to answer any questions that the police ask them anyway.
I mean, if you're advertising stolen shit, you're not going to put in your ad no questions asked.
Man,
You might put in
been
there don't ask questions.
There's been some dumb fucking criminals out there, man.
Yeah. Do you know, if I was going to steal shit and sell it, I'd just be like, I bought it ages ago and never use it, so I'm selling it. That would be like the smarter thing to do than be like, yeah, no questions asked, please.
I just feel like you shouldn't steal shit and then try to sell it.
Yeah.
That'd be the simplest solution.
I fucking hate thieves, eh?
All right, the last one. Last one I got for you. I'm going to set the tone here. Caleb.
Do you need music?
Caleb's wedding day.
Give us some music.
Oh, mate, why are you taking me there?
No. Your future wedding day.
Wow, you did a
What?
180 there, didn't
You
you?
just-
You fucking
Sorry, you
saved
need some
that one.
clarification, man.
Fucking
Your
save
future
that.
wedding day. Caleb's up there looking all suave and sophisticated.
Standing
His
there with
groom
Sarah.
comes in. And
His
he's
groom
like,
comes in.
yeah.
I'm marrying a dude, am I?
Yeah. Sorry.
Crikey.
It's 2022, bro.
Hang on. I'm next to him looking fly because I'm the best man.
I'm
I
marrying.
fucking better be.
Okay,
So,
I thought you've basically
looking
set
fly.
up me marrying you.
I'm looking fly. Then your bride-to-be comes in,
You're assuming I'm getting married again?
walking down the line. Dun, 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 dun.
Is that a Star Wars theme?
You're assuming you're going to be best man again?
Well, I fucking better be because you ain't got any other friends.
I don't know. He's got a sausage dog that might work out.
Anyway, she's up there. You're saying your vows and shit. Then old mate fucking Ryan comes in. Stop this wedding.
Why does he sound like your old man?
Yeah, I don't know. So, all right. Is that legal to do?
Is it illegal to?
I thought you were just off on a tangent. I
So,
didn't know this was the question.
Is it illegal to disrupt a wedding or a funeral?
Oh, to object or to disrupt?
Disrupt.
I feel like, true, it's illegal, and that's why they asked the question specifically, does anyone object? And that is your time to object.
That is the only point where you can interject. But no, it is illegal to actually disrupt a wedding or a funeral.
Didn't I just say that?
No, you said it's legal in the part where you're like,
I don't know.
does anyone
We are recording this. You can always
disagree?
check.
I feel like I just said it's illegal unless it's the part where they go, does anyone object?
You said illegal. It
Illegal.
sounded like you said illegal.
Illegal. I added an I.
Can you put me on stereo? Because I can't hear right.
How about I put your volume of yourself up in your headphones by 20%?
You only do mono. That's some sweet wheelies, bro.
Well, yeah, it is illegal to disrupt a wedding or a funeral.
Well, it's just this shit thing to do.
Well, nah, I feel like, if you're going to marry a monster and it's not like at that point where, it's like, oh, does anyone have any objections? I'm going to be like, hey, dude, like, nah, don't go ahead.
Why would you wait till the wedding day?
Oh, so
Exactly.
he spends all the money in the world and I'll get a free feed and free piss.
And that's the joke. You're like,
I mean,
so why didn't you tell me earlier? Well, I thought it'd be funny if you lost everything first.
could have bought a boat with that money.
You could have to go fishing solo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck, there's a lot of money, eh? So much money to be burnt on weddings.
We've all been there. Will we do it again? That is the question.
Fuck no.
is.
Nah.
You're still married.
Yeah, I know.
Technically.
You're going to rehab a wedding.
Yeah.
You're going to renew your
no,
vows.
if I had
I
to
better
go-
be your best man.
If I could go back and change how much money I spent on my wedding, I would sure as shit not spend as
How
much.
much money did you spend on your wedding?
Enough for me not want to say it on the podcast.
The average these days, the average is over 30 grand. Man.
Nah, poppycock, horse
Nah,
shit,
that is
fucking.
average.
The average.
Nah.
It adds up.
Not
Dude,
that I want to
I've-
bring this up, but I think we did so I'm divorced. Annulled? I don't know.
You're divorced.
Yeah, but if it's under 4 months of marriage, technically you can file for an annulment. So
I don't think it's that long.
yeah,
You're
it
no
is.
longer married. Let's go with that one.
yeah,
I've
let's
been
just.
through it. Anyway,
Oh, is this a just joshing again?
no, it was.
Yes, you are not married.
I did it for like $6,000.
True.
Correct.
$6,000.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can do a cheap wedding.
Budget
which
wedding.
I strongly recommend that.
No, that was lavish.
All right, how much? All right, here's a question for you. How much do you think mine cost?
Oh, bro, 100%. I reckon you're sitting at 15
And the rest.
to 20.
How much do you think my original wedding cost back in 2010?
Yeah, you're sitting at 15 to 20. I reckon
No,
less or more.
less.
Less. 12.
It cost 13 grand.
Yeah.
But it's because I got married on a Friday and saved $40 a head before it became like a thing to get married on a Friday. So Saturday would have cost 120 a head. Friday cost $80 a head. I didn't have fancy cars. I borrowed mates' cars. The photographer, instead of costing like $5 grand, cost me $1,500 because it was a mate I went to uni with who was pretty much a commercial photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the same guy. He's actually pretty good.
He's a great photographer. So, yeah, that's how I save money.
Yeah.
Because
and the money that you saved, did it go to purchasing something that you liked to do?
Dude,
maybe,
I had no money then.
To enhance what you
I had no money then. I was stupid enough to get married.
Anything.
As soon as I'd finished uni, I had no money.
So you didn't save anything.
My missus at the time paid for most of the wedding.
That's how it should be, because it's an honour to marry men.
Oh, mate. Like, when you
Dude, there's no dowry. It's not fucking 1535.
why the fuck do I have all these camels there?
35.
But the point is, it doesn't have to be ridiculously expensive. I've been to 100 grand weddings, man, with just lavish, ridiculous shit that you don't need, like fucking flamingos and a dance troupe and a fucking ice cream van and bottles of scotch on every table. And you're just like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm getting passionate about the fact that I'm no longer married.
But you're right. You don't need to spend $100K on a wedding. And to be honest, I don't understand why you would. Wouldn't you want to spend as little money as possible and then whatever else you've got put on a house or a caravan and a 79?
Depends if it's your money or someone else's money that you're
You know
spending.
what? The possibility of eloping is seriously.
Or
where
you
I'm
could
at.
you could save the money, man, elope, and then buy a fucking boat.
I'm not going to spend on a boat.
Dude, like if I could give any life advice to our young listeners, well, not necessarily young, but those that are considering getting married and wanting to set themselves up,
Don't.
don't do it.
All I can say is buy the fucking boat.
Mate.
Don't get married.
No,
That's where some people went wrong.
if I had my time again,
Where did you go wrong, Josh?
he didn't buy the
Never
boat.
gone wrong, bruh.
If I had my time again, I would not have such an extravagant wedding. I would do it low budget, and I would get that money and I would put it into an investment, because you're better off at investing in something long term, having a return on that.
Bricks and mortar,
Well, not
Bitcoin
anymore.
shit at the moment. Don't do
Like,
crypto.
it's one day. As soon as it's a wedding, everything becomes overpriced. You can have throw a great party. Fucking elope, have a great party when you get back, and then be done with it.
But it's not about you, Caleb. Really. My dad said
trick.
something to me when I was young, and he said, "Look, son, it's not about you. The day's not about you at all." Because you couldn't.
That's morbid.
You couldn't. Men.
That's fucking morbid.
No, and most people can attest to this. Men don't really care. It's a bit of paper.
I disagree.
Who gives a shit? You don't really want to, like, you can get in a fancy suit and go have some beers and a few stogies and
Dude, the day is gone in a blur.
It is.
It is, and that's what I mean. Most men don't care for it, so it's not about you. It's about essentially the woman
I disagree with that. Like, for
and
me,
your family.
it's a
your
day
family.
of significance. So while anyone who tells you that it's not about you, I disagree, because it should be about you.
It should be.
Absolutely.
It's your day just as much as it's your missus. It is your day. The only difference is they spend every day thinking about it since they're 5 years of age.
I'm gonna ask something here.
Okay.
Go
on.
Probably gonna need a beer.
Is this still part of Josh Joshing, or are you just asking a genuine question?
No. Your missus is chill. She's cool. She's fucking she's all good.
Thank you for
But
stating a fact.
she's got like a winery booked. She's like, oh, look, you want to go to a winery Saturday? Yeah. All right, lock it in. All right, Wednesday night. This is for Saturday. Wednesday night, boom, your mates ring. Bro, there is a fucking 18-point red stag on my place.
I knew you were going to say
Do you want to fucking come out and fucking rip it out with me on Friday to Sunday? What are you going to choose?
You're going to choose your missus because
You've
the stag's
already
gonna still
committed to
fucking be
something.
there.
You've already committed to your missus.
Yeah.
An 18-point red
You
stag.
have already said
over.
to your missus you're going to that with her.
And that's not a question
You know what I'd do? I'd take her to the winery Thursday and then go hunting Friday.
No, but she's booked in Saturday, and that's the only day she can go.
You don't need to book in places, mate. You just rock up.
For a wedding?
The places
No,
you go,
for a
correct.
winery.
I thought we were talking about weddings.
No, I'm putting it in context.
No, what what you've just outlaid to us is what are you putting first, hunting or your partner in life, your missus?
Well, I'd bring her.
But also your integrity to a commitment.
I'd bring her.
If you've already committed to her.
If you're a man of your word and you said, yes, I'm doing that with you, and then you go, oh, fuck, actually, Dale, there's an opportunity for me to go shoot a deer. How do you think you're going to make her feel? You're saying to her, me hunting deer is more important than you.
No.
Unless she's like.
That's exactly
So,
what you're saying.
no.
Unless she's like, yeah, fuck you, I'd rather go hunting than go to a fucking winery.
The winery's going to be there next week.
Yeah, but so is
The
the
red
deer.
the red deer's not. It's probably going to be shot in a week.
Oh, it depends.
There's going to be plenty more deer.
So look, and I feel like I'd just actually take misses. I'd just be like, oh, let's jump in and go in.
What if she hates hunting?
Well, you're probably with the wrong
What
person.
if she hates hunting and this is your opportunity for a weekend to go away and do something together and she's excited about it and then you've gone at the last minute because your mates rang up on Thursday night?
If you
You've
don't
gone-
have similar things that you like, then you're probably with the
What if
wrong person.
what if she's into hunting but was really looking forward to having a special day with you where it was something different that and you don't get out to wineries much and it was a new experience and she was really looking forward to it. And then you've gone, nah, my mate's cool, I'm going to go fucking hunting.
Do you know what? You might
Dick
get away.
move, man.
Well, it is a dick move. You might get away with it once and she might be very understanding and she might go, shit, you know what? Go get that deer, Dale. Fucking I back you. Go get that. Don't want you to miss out. We can wait. We can go to a winery another week.
Oh,
but if you fucking keep doing that, guess what? You're going to set up a precedence in her mind and she's going to think that you think hunting is more important than her.
No, you just
How about
take her
think of it like this.
with you.
You've booked in a trip to go hunting with your missus on Sunday. On Saturday, your missus get a call from her friend saying that there's a winery, a pop-up winery thing that's on in town and all of her friends are going.
I'll be like,
with their
Dale,
partners.
go and fill your boots. I'd be like, have fun. I'd be like, I support you all the way.
You're like, let me bask in my hypocrisy. Let me just baste and marinate in my own hypocrisy.
Just some men are born for greatness. Some men are born to
Josh, it's the
follow
principle
sheep.
of it. If you tell your beloved, your number one, that you're going to do something with them, and then you go, fuck, I'd rather go hunting a deer, guess what they're going to feel like eventually? They're going to feel like shit and that you
Not
care
e-
about deer more than
See,
them.
this is why you just take them, and if they don't like hunting, then you're probably with
This
the wrong
sounds
person.
like your approach to fucking fatherhood as well. You just shove them in the car, crack a window, fucking cop it, mate. Eventually, you'll get used to it and you'll start enjoying it.
So enjoying putting my kid in a car.
Mate, like it's funny because you say that sort of stuff all the time, but then if your missus was like, "Nah, we're going to this winery," you'd fucking go to the winery.
Of course you
Oh,
would.
look, I
You talk a
enjoy
big-
Because you
spending
do,
time with
talk
her.
a big game, but your game is fuck
I
all.
absolutely love spending time with them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're like, you're like,
And I also
so
know you hate disappointing people. So, yeah.
That's where I was getting at. Like you're like,
Yeah, look.
oh, you're not a real man, fucking this, fucking that. And then you like, you put your headphones down when the microphone's not in front of you. You're like,
we are-
yes, let's go to the winery.
To sum up, you're just Josh.
We are trying to intrigue fucking listeners here, but no, an 18-point red stag is pretty important. Yeah,
So, your partner in life is not important? Maintaining a healthy relationship is not important?
we are not doing this Dr. Phil shit.
What is important to you,
Sorry,
Josh?
did I touch a nerve?
No, we're
What
just
is
not doing
important
this
to you,
Dr.
Josh?
Phil shit.
And why don't you open up a little bit about it?
You brought it up. You literally are the one who brought it up. Did you not like my
It was an
retort?
analogy, all right?
What?
Well, I just fucking crushed it like a bug.
You didn't. You just basically told everyone you're fucking a pussy, and that's all right.
He's fucking a pussy,
No, I actually just told everyone that I love and appreciate my missus. So there you go.
as everyone should.
We all do.
Do you know what? In years gone by, maybe in this first marriage you were discussing earlier, I might have done exactly that and gone, fuck, this shit is annoying as fuck. I'm going to go hunting. But do you know what? I actually want to maintain a healthy relationship now.
I think
It's admirable,
The
Callum.
key words there is healthy relationship. I think, but do you know what?
It's a balance. It can't all be one way.
It is. That's the
I
word I
can't-
was
we
looking
can't just
for,
do everything she
balance.
wants to do. I still have to get mine. unless you know she would understand in a special circumstance that this opportunity is too big and just there's no way you can pass it up and she can be understanding, yes. But in general, if someone goes, hey, you want to go hunting, mate, and you've already committed to something, if you keep doing that to her, she's going to go, shit, he doesn't care about me. He thinks hunting's more important.
I think the more mature thing would be just to start a dialogue. Be like, look, this opportunity's come up. I know that you wanted to do this. Like, would it be okay if I wanted to do this? And then she's like, well, actually, I was really looking forward to this, and this is what I wanted to do, and sort of indicating that, not saying that you can't go, but indicating that it was something she was looking forward to. That's when you need to choose your priorities. Like, are you prioritizing a hunt over your wife? And I think that's everyone. It's not like you don't want to say you're going to go with your wife and do what you don't want to do, because if it's what you don't want to do, then maybe you should question why it is that you're doing the things that you're doing.
By all means, ask the question, because you don't want to be a fucking whipped pussy, as you called me, and just do everything your missus wants you to do and don't see your mates. But don't say you're going to do something and then don't do it.
Yeah.
That is.
But there's two sides to that as well, because like the misso has to have that same approach where both parties have got to have their own things, and both parties. That's exactly right. Because it's the old if you can't be by yourself, you can't be with anyone else either, or some bullshit like that. No, if you can't love yourself, you can't love someone else. So that means having your own time to work on you and have your own space and do that sort of stuff as well.
That's why I go fishing by myself. Also have a healthy relationship. Not
Makes
bragging.
sense. Well, it makes sense. It all adds up now. Was that is this like this whole way that you've worked this whole episode to work that in at the end where we're like having a meaningful conversation?
I don't know. I'm
like,
flying by the seat of my pants right now.
Well played, sir. Well played.
As is per usual. Have we finished with the joshing?
Oh, I finished ages ago.
Oh, you did?
I was just talking about a red stag because I want to hunt a red stag this year.
You got stags on the mind.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I don't think you actually do. I think you'd rather go to a winery. But hey, let's move on to fucking.
Or here's the compromise: we hunt stags and then go to a winery.
That's actually quite a dig comment, Joshua.
There's a lot of
Because yes, I would like to go out and hunt a red stag, but I also have other priorities.
No, that's cool. Man, I am going to go.
That sounded exactly like that's what you were doing.
No, I was just pointing out the obvious to our listeners, but that's all right. Let's move on.
You didn't even ask the question. You didn't like this. Have you not been listening to what we've been saying? How is this relationship going to work if you're not listening to what we're saying?
She's listening to this right now because I know she listens. And I wonder what her thoughts are.
She's like, so Josh, how's that red stag?
I think she knows me better than I know me, so that's fine.
Yeah.
She knows you're full of shit right now. And you would go to that winery.
Yes, absolutely.
And then immediately go from the winery to hunt a red stag.
Nah, because you would like get in there and you'd be like, oh, excuse me, I can't have a stemmed glass. Can you put it in a fucking tumbler for me? And because you're drinking out of a tumbler, you drink more and then you'll be fucking piss-legged by the end of it, and then you pass out and wake up and go, huh?
Oh, look, man, I have a thing for red wine. There's no doubt about that.
Well, yes, the red wine is flowing. What
are we drinking tonight? We're drinking 19 Crimes.
Yeah, back on the 19 Crimes.
We've had 19 Crimes, got some Jim Beam and Coke going here, and some
Miller's.
Jack Daniels.
And some
Miller's. Was that Chill?
Yeah, Miller's Chill.
I
quite
refuse
nice,
to call
actually.
them beer.
Well, didn't see you complaining when you drank three of them.
I had one of them.
No, you had three.
I had one.
I've
Those
had
are
a fair
yours.
few.
No?
Those empties are yours. I've had one.
No.
One.
Either way, it tastes delicious. What is it? Miller Chill with real lime.
It's basically a shandy. He's drinking a grandma's drink with lime.
No, a shandy is lemonade and beer, man. Not lemon and beer.
It was a joke.
It's basically
A
shandy.
shandy. Now, the blood orange one that the Miller Chill blood orange, that's delicious.
It is.
That's like
Stunningly.
I'm not going to say they're not delicious, but in the same way, like a vodka cruiser is delicious,
I was just going to say that raspberry vodka cruisers.
it's still like a teenage
back.
girl's drink.
So what? I would easily smash through a slab of raspberry cruisers
Easily.
Love it, and they're only one standard drink per
That's what
bottle.
They're delicious, but does it give me a fucking spike of testosterone? No, it doesn't.
It gives me a sugar rush because my body goes through the alcohol quicker than the sugar. Spiked your testosterone.
Anyway, instead of making thinly veiled insults at each other, how about we move on to this week's
ND.
Negligent discharge. I love how, like, at the beginning of it, we're like, yeah, we're all adults. We're all now we're just degraded to insulting.
It's just a slanging match.
That's cool.
We all need to hug it out, I think.
Oh, can we do it in my king size bed? Or is that going to be weird?
Definitely not.
No.
It's a good hugging space.
Definitely
I
not.
don't even want to think about the creepy crawlies
Nah.
that are sitting on your bed.
Like, I'm sure it's the same set of sheets
No, it's clean
since
sheets.
you moved in.
I washed them 2 days ago.
Oh, you've done a deep clean. You did have
man.
COVID.
I did have
forgot about
COVID.
that.
I've done a deep clean. The floors have been scrubbed. You couldn't tell because the floors are fucking terrible, but
Oh, well.
yeah, did a deep clean. Washed my sheets. Washed everything. I felt like a fucking what do they call it? Domesticated man.
Well done. Well done. All right. Well, ND for this week also revolves around when I went fishing. I took my missus.
By yourself?
No, I took my missus, by the way. We both went. And we took the dog.
I was wondering why you said we moved. Like we tried somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I wasn't actually by myself. I do enjoy going fishing by myself, but I went with the missus and she suggested it actually. So
There you go. They're both interested in the same
in our
thing.
second location, though, for this week's ND, we rolled in and Josh, you'll know the spot by the Subcorp.
Yes.
Gravel car park. You can pretty much pull your car right up to the edge of the wharf, for want of a better word, and fish. And when I pulled in, there were 2 cars down the end, and they were parked strangely in that they were one behind the other and sort of perpendicular into a chainmail fence. And they sort of weren't near the water, they weren't near the road. Just a weird way to park 2 cars end on end into a fence. Looking at the front car, there were blankets up over all the windows. So I've pulled into this car park away from them. I'm like, oh, like in this area, sometimes there's people that live in their cars. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I've looked to the other side and there's some P-platers sitting in their car, but they're in the back seat. We all know what's going on there.
Was it a rockin'?
Mm.
So don't come and knock.
And of course, as soon as you drive past, there's like a little head that bobs up from the back seat, like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, right, P-plater, we've all been there. You can't fucking root at your mum and dad's place. You haven't got a place of your own. You get in the car, you go park. And I'm like, since when did this fishing spot become an area for people to park and
It's like a hookup place.
do the wild thing? Yeah. And there was another car down further. I'm like, I mean, at this particular spot, sometimes people just sit in their car and look at the water. They don't fish. They just look at the water. That's even weirder.
Probably because they're doing drugs, but yeah.
Anyway, so I've assumed this 2 cars down the end. I'm assuming at this point it's a homeless person.
With 2 cars.
With,
Fucking hell.
with 2 cars, all right.
Does 2 cars equal a house?
With 2 cars. Anyway, so another bloke pulls in his Navara, slings in. He goes between me and the car with the blankets up. I'm like, well, gee, you're bold. I thought I'd just give him enough space, whatever. And he's just gone right next to him, started fishing. Anyway, he's there for 5 minutes and the car with the blankets starts up, drives off with all the blankets up over all the windows. And at that point it's clicked and I've gone, shit, the car with all the blankets, they're just getting freaky as well. The car behind is the second occupant of the car. That's their car.
Oh.
And the guy next to me fishing has just got a bit too close for comfort. Because I was about, 30, 40 meters away, that's still acceptable and I can't see in the car, whereas he's right next to him.
So he's interrupted the fucking.
So he's interrupted the fucking. So then they've driven off and I've assumed they've left. I'm flogging a dead horse. I finished my fishing. I decide to pack up and leave. So as I'm driving out, there's another gravel car park. And right down the end of that car park is the car with the blankets up again. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, you guys are that desperate to just fuck in your car. You've just driven 200 meters down the road and gone to another secluded car park. And they've literally angled themselves right into the very corner of this car park. I'm like, this has to be an affair. Like,
I was just going to say that.
it has to be an affair. It's clicked then. I'm gone.
You first thought they were homeless, so I'm picturing some sort of like Mitsubishi Magna.
But
that's
that-
I was
fucking
thinking
bummed
like,
out.
one of those old school like Falcons, like the yellow Canary that you used to own that you then sold to me, and then the kill switch
No,
stuck on it.
So the car with the blankets was like a what was it? It was like a Daewoo, but sort of as late a model Daewoo as you can get before they stopped making Daewoos, right? The car behind was like a Volkswagen Golf, so a reasonable car.
That would be her car.
Two dudes,
I'm going to assume. I don't know.
blankets up.
I don't know.
Come
The
on.
blankets up. That's what
Man.
made me think it was a homeless person. But then when I've realised the two cars, that means the second person has brought their car and then just jumped in.
that's a fair point.
And the blankets out. But the fact that they were driving off with the blankets still up just made me go, they're embarrassed. They don't want us to see their faces.
Nah, that's like, man, that's set. When I'm parking,
Do tell us, Mr. Josh.
I don't
of
give
your,
a fuck. Like, windows are fucking open, mate.
Is it 2:00 in the afternoon?
Bro, it's whenever.
Anyway,
Have you in a public place had a crack? Have you fucked in public?
I actually feel like my previous comment was too personal to share, so I'm going to just redact everything and not say anything.
Are you embarrassed?
is that an official request to edit that out?
Denial is not just a river in Egypt.
See, that was an appropriate use of that one, man. Well done. Yeah.
Anyway, so I've packed up fishing, spotted them in another car park, and I'm going to drive off, and I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go back and just annoy them.
Yeah, just park next to
So
it.
I literally turned around at the roundabout, drove all the way back in, then entered their car park, and then drove right up to them, jumped on the horn, toot, 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 and then I've just done doughies. Right next to him, I'm like, yeah, that'll do.
So I would have approached that different. I would have pulled up like right up, like within 100 mil of their car, and then just wound down the window and smiled.
I feel with the blankets up,
staring at
I
them.
feel like the reason why the blankets are up is because of maybe it's not kosher. What
As
they're
in,
doing.
As in, it's an affair.
an affair or
no,
a homosexual
out
couple?
there near the subcore, man. Like you fucking dead set. Even if you're having an affair, you're not giving a fuck. No one's going to.
Oh, I don't know, man.
a pretty random car park,
Was there any
though.
P plates on there? Is that without the P plate car?
No, the P platers, they were still.
Come on, was it a Volkswagen Tiguan or whatever it is? Tiguan, fucking
No. It was like a day. It was a Daewoo.
no, the other car. You said it was a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen Golf. But no, there's nothing special. It was like maybe an early 2000s model.
I don't know. It could be. It's all speculation. I mean, hell, it could be an old lady in there that patting her dog that just wanted a little bit of quiet.
But look, if it was a homeless person living in their car, why would you just drive 200 meters away and then park in a weird corner of a car park again?
Yeah, I agree with that. That like it's suspicious because we have another spot where we go, Caleb. Like, do we
Parking
like
or
to
fishing?
Fish.
Do you guys put the covers up on the windows as well?
Nah, we don't
we
give
fuck
a
on the
fuck.
bonnet.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. Man.
I don't know if I should tell this story.
Nah, but we were.
I have got a
Wow,
story.
man, you can't say that after we fuck on a bonnet.
No.
We don't, but
All right, so I'm going to tell the
What?
story anyway. So I was with a partner of mine, and
a partner
I think
of
she
yours.
listens to this
How many
podcast.
partners do you have?
Business partner.
with a partner of mine, me and my partner were
Fucking on a bonnet. All right.
fucking on a bonnet. But this is like back in the day, and there was this church right near her parents' house. So I'd go pick her up, and then we'd go park in the car park of the church.
Because apparently that's where your fucking maps back then led you.
Well, this is before GPS, man. Give me a break.
Oh, God.
Well, it was like his open car park. It was pretty well like secluded. Like there's
It's a church.
So what? Doesn't matter. So we like were on the bonnet going at it, and then 2 days later, I didn't realize it at the time, but when we were done, I was looking around and there was CC cameras everywhere. And then 2 days later, they'd built a fence with a big gate to block off the driveway access into it because it wasn't gated or anything. It was just like an open car park.
Yeah, because you don't have a pretty ass. Dead set. If you were on my cameras, I'd build a fence around fucking
know,
my
man.
house too.
The things you see on CCTV.
Yeah.
just jumping back, Caleb and I have a spot where we like to go fish, and there is a homeless guy there, and he has been there for at least 6 years.
Yeah,
at least.
How much does it cost?
No. Wait. He's in a van. He's in a Tarago, and he has a 52-inch screen in his car, and he has a fucking generator
and a massive aerial on top of his roof.
Huge aerial, and the dude's just fucking loving life, just sitting there, man.
So it's van life, really,
bro. I don't know what it is, but every single time I go down there for the last 6 years,
him on the podcast.
He's been there. And I did think about that when I was driving past him, like no more than a few weeks ago. I was sitting there going, man, I should just pull in and be like, hey, bro, I want to hear your story. Like dead set. I want to hear your story because you have been here. I have been coming to this spot with my mate for at least 6 fucking years.
At least.
And you are still here.
Probably more.
Does his car even run?
He has a Honda Quiet generator and a 52-inch fucking screen.
His car runs. We've seen it move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because like if he's been there, it might just be the car might not even work. He's fuck it, I'm here. I might as well stay.
Because sometimes he's not there, so he definitely moves around. But by default, on a weekend, that's where he's parking his Tarago.
Yeah. Like, dead set, man. I'm just like, bro, like, I actually think he has a mad story to tell.
I'm sure he does. It probably involves drugs.
I don't think so, man.
I don't know, like there's a guy.
He looks like Mr. Miyagi, dude. Like,
I've never seen
wise
his
as
face.
fuck.
Why have you seen his face?
He's probably got some
Because
solid
he
life
watches
lessons.
TV with his van door open, right, and he sits there. He looks actually really tall.
Have you been in his van?
No, he looks really tall.
Did
and
he
he
lure
sits
you in
there
with
watching, and like, I drive past, and okay, he looks like a Mr. Miyagi without a fucking beard, actually. Yeah, and tall,
So
not short.
So
nothing like Mr. Miyagi, really.
So he looks
but
like he can do karate.
yeah,
just
karate.
a tall Asian man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm
He's
just
probably got some
stereotyping.
wicked wisdom, like life lessons behind him, though.
Man, I actually want to stop one day and be like, hey, bro, I got a podcast. I just want to hear your story so bad because you've been here for ages.
Let's just take.
You've shaped my life fishing. You really have. So, yeah, I disrupted some people fucking in a car. Pretty sure it was an affair. Shame on you.
And is the ND for us, like having an affair, or is the ND for putting blankets
Driving off maybe with fucking blankets around the windows?
The ND was like no one could fucking see in your car because you had blankets on every fucking window.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
So
they're
just
driving
own
off with blankets on the
Yeah,
front.
just
window.
own it. Just stay there. Meanwhile, the P-platers are like sheepishly like, when can we get out? They'll see our faces. Oh, no, we're in the back seat. And eventually they did, and they're sort of like covering their faces and shit. And I'm like, so what? You're fucking 18 years old. You're macking on in the back seat of your parents' car. Who gives a fucking shit? Being
Own
there.
it.
Own it.
Own it. Who gives a fuck?
What if, here's my theory, the blankets car was just some dude trying to have a wank and look at the water?
Nah.
Then he went to extreme lengths.
Why wouldn't you just put a fucking blanket over your crotch?
Because then it's pretty obvious when you're having a
Nah,
crank.
it's not, man.
I don't want to make eye contact
mean,
with a
no,
bloke
it's
jerking off in his
not.
car.
Nah.
Let me put it to you this way. If you see a dude with a blanket over his crotch and you're like, that dude's having
Oh,
a wank, are you going to go
you
up to him and
just
be
like-
like, I can know you're having a
Nah,
wank?
you just look at him and you're like, fucking, you look away immediately and you're like, yep, I know what you're doing. Cool. Let's leave bygones.
You
be
look
bygones.
away immediately.
Fucking,
Are you experienced in this area?
bro, I was in the
You were
army.
in the army, yeah, of course.
Man,
He has many,
There was-
many a
I
wank.
You've stared into people's eyes whilst they were wanking.
I lived in like a room where there was partition walls, like a fucking 1.5 meter gap from the roof to the partition walls. And yeah, Ryan. Yeah. Dudes would try to do what was called like a stealth wank. And they'd be like, and you'd hear them and like, it'd be like quick. And then like when they thought they heard someone listening, they'd stop.
Stop it.
And he'd be like, yeah, fuck, I know exactly what you're doing, man.
Have you
like,
ever
just keep going.
Have you ever been on the bottom bunk while someone in the top bunk was having a
Nah,
crack
nah,
and the whole
mate.
thing's shaking?
That's the best thing is there was enough like beds in a section that the top bunks weren't used. But overseas, I shared Aaron, I'm going to fucking dob you in here. I shared a bunk with Aaron. I was on the bottom bunk. He was on the top bunk. And which yeah, and
So you're a bottom.
oh man, and it was
Did
like
you feel any raindrops?
nah. There was nothing happened when we were like asleep because we were pretty tired most of the time. But if one of us wasn't in the room and the other one like was out and then suddenly came in, like there was a few fucking deer in headlights moments. Like,
Is that,
yeah,
is that when you,
yeah.
when you
And
had
like
your
Aaron
belt
used to-
around your neck on the door and you were
Yeah.
jerking off and you're like,
And there was
he
like
backs out quietly, he doesn't say anything, he just closes the door.
Ryan had put fucking Aaron had put like fucking pin-up girls all around our fucking room because or our little space. I don't know what you fucking call it, really. But we used to get sent these parcels, right? So in schools and things, they make parcels to send to troops in Afghan, right? And so do they. They do the same thing at like old people's homes and stuff like that, or anyone can do it really.
So is it like a shoebox for an Afghan soldier?
Yeah, essentially.
Like
And
Australian soldier who's
Every
been
now
deployed.
and then you'd get like a single mum that would send a box over with a single mum. And there would be People magazines, there would be Tim Tams and fucking like sugar lollies or whatever.
Is that like the memes where it's
And
like
then-
the military box for a single mum and it's got the same shit because that's what you're guaranteed to get?
No, there'd be generally there'd be a handwritten note saying like, and it was in illegible English. And it would be like, oh, call me Mr. Soldier Boy in this name. He'd be like, fuck off. Give me the fucking Tim Tams. The Tim Tams would be the first thing that would fucking go. And then the People mags would be shared out between all the boys.
Would you roll a dice to see who got the centerfold?
Oh, man, it was whoever was first in best dressed. But you get these other packages where like a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old would make them and they'd hand knit like socks or fucking beanies or something.
You get hand-knitted socks in a desert.
Bro, dead set. Like, and you'd open it and a couple of times it come in handy, man. Like, you know, you like wear the beanie. A few times
Come in the sock.
It looked like they'd made a fucking beanie for a child because you were like, how the fuck does this fit in your head? But yeah, it'd be like a yarmulke. It'd be that small. But yeah.
Oh, well, at least people are putting in the effort, man. Like,
Yeah, man,
Some
yeah.
old lady sat there and knitted that, being like, "There'll be some big burly soldier," and then they got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the hat fitted.
Yeah. On my dick. On my dick head.
Mate, as long as
What?
your head
I'm
was
sorry.
covered,
You're a dickhead.
On my dick head.
You're a dickhead.
My dick's head.
the head of your penis.
Yes.
As long as the head was covered, Josh.
It's
that's the
massive.
main thing. I feel there's a joke in there about circumcision, but I won't.
Let's. Oh, I'm glad we've chosen.
While we're talking about raps.
A line. Oh, well played, sir. I was just trying to find a segue. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Thank you very much for listening once again to us talk shit and
Descend into madness.
just into madness. No, we very much appreciate you for listening and following us on Instagram because that is the primary source of our interactions at the moment.
Primarily, yes.
And look, jumping back, if you know anything about public land hunting in South Australia and the ins and outs of the political workings, we'd love to hear about you. We'd love to hear about the struggle and the fight and see if we're making any headway. So hit us up on Instagram, Send It Mate Podcast.
Yeah, we also.
Or send us an email if you feel like being more formal with your approach.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's. I was just
Yeah.
going to mention.
Send
that.
it mate podcast
If you
at
actually
gmail.com.
give a fuck.
I'll say that again.
Yeah.
Send it mate podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, thank you very much, Camp Mum.
Very formal.
Well, I had to say it again because you spoke over me.
Yes.
Come
Yes,
on, man. Where's your etiquette?
Well, he has no friends.
I'm used to talking to myself.
Exactly.
It's hard to cut yourself off, isn't it? Or is it? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have been Send It Mate podcast. Tune in next week for some more craziness. I think we've got a guest next week, don't we?
We do? We do indeed.
Ooh, who's it going to be?
Ooh, lucky dip.
Special.
All right, you good fuckers. Someone's got to bring the life to the table because these two are fucking tired as shit. That's it for Send It Mate. We will catch you next week.
Well, for this week anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like, that's it for Send It
That's it.
Mate.
We're done. No.
That's it for this week. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Josh. That was great. It's time to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Go back and listen to our old episodes. Enjoy.
Hit us up. Have some conversations. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Don't forget to go fishing by yourself.
Do it. It's good for your mental health. Josh.
Debbie Downer.
Shithead.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.